People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And sponsored by Ayers Furniture, Bitech Resource Management, Claire Bank, Fuller's Milker Center, Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Platteville, Les Mack, Northland Buildings, Reeves Wealth Management, Raleigh Cheese House, Russell Law Offices, The Shoebox, Tricor Insurance, West End Salvage, Carver's Hardwood Flooring, Sloan Implements, Sups, Brian's Auto Body and Paint, Gary's Pest Control, TriStar Pallets and TriStar Mulch, Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware Do It Best, Bouse Electric, Cuba City Collision and Repair, Laley Center Monroe, H&N Plumbing, Heating and Electrical, Community First Bank, Grant Regional Health Center, Sullivan Auctioneers, Big Iron Realty, Lancaster Dental Associates, Millie's Diner, Pink's Automotive, Good Knees Garage, Point and Flush Sportsman's Club, Rosemeyer Management Group, Reckler Insurance, McNett Electric, Mound City Bank, Ready Feed and Grain LLC, Southwest Health, and WCC Brands.
Good evening and welcome to Lancaster High School. It is homecoming night for Lancaster Flying Arrow Nation, and our feature matchup tonight on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, the Lancaster Flying Arrows hosting the Brodhead Juda Cardinals. This is our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Also on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by Laley Center Monroe and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. From the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth, I'm Tyler Dictanis, joined alongside Brad Adams, welcoming you to our Raleigh Cheese pregame show. And Brad, for the Lancaster Flying Arrows coming into tonight's game, a 3-3 overall record, coming off a tight win against Dodgeville a week ago. Had to hold off a scrappy Dodgers team at the tail end of that matchup, but getting on the right side of those very close games that Lancaster has played to this point in the season. And with 3 games to go, and this being the final home game of the season, this matchup is very critical for the Flying Arrows for postseason hopes and potentially hosting a home game if they are able to win out.
Yeah, Lancaster had a very tough schedule so far in this year, and yeah, tonight's game is pivotal for them as if this one happens to fall for them, it's a tough road to make the playoffs with their next 2 games against Prairie du Chien and New Glarus, I believe. So yeah, this is a pivotal game, and hopefully they're on the right side of things and have things straightened out and are ready to make a nice run for the postseason here.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those winnable games, as Brodhead Juda still has yet to find their first win of the season under first-year head coach Tim Surjak. But looking at the Arrows, as we mentioned, the optimist says that Lancaster is 10 points away from being undefeated on the season. The pessimist says you're 4 points away from being 1-5. So Lancaster kind of walking that tightrope as far as what success looks like, but being able to get the win in a tight ball game a week ago has to certainly build confidence for this team as they head down to the home stretch with a rivalry game with Prairie du Chien next week and then taking on a New Glarus team on the road that is likely going to be playing for the SWC title.
Yeah, you don't really like to be in so many tight games, but it's certainly a good team building and program building exercise to go through of you're battle tested and you know what it takes to pull out in those tough games, and hopefully Lancaster can continue to build confidence from last week and keep this train rolling.
Yeah, but for Brodhead Juda, as we mentioned, still looking for their first win of the season, sitting at 0-4 in conference play, 0-6 overall. And, they've gone through some pretty tough matchups, had a blowout loss against Prairie du Chien a week ago. This is a very young football team and a first-year head coach in a very, very tough conference. Not exactly the most best recipe to find success in your first year of football. But Coach Tim Surgic, as he'll talk about on our Rally Cheese pregame show in just a little bit, he's very happy with the progress that his team has made as far as being able to run the ball, but trying to find their identity and kind of build this program back up from the success that they had just a couple years ago.
Yeah, they're definitely in a rebuilding mode, and as being in a tough conference as the SWC is, it's not great to necessarily be as young as they are. I think I've only counted 7 seniors on their roster, so
Right.
They are very young. But they seem to be able to run the ball okay. The passing game probably has a little bit more to be desired. We'll see if they can figure that out or if they just want to rely on the run game here tonight. But they definitely seem to be maybe trending in the right direction.
Yeah, we'll see how the matchup plays out between Brodhead Juda and Lancaster coming up. Kickoff coming up at 7 o'clock. But first on our Rally Cheese pregame show, we'll talk with both head coaches. Had a chance to catch up with Jordan Rolland of Lancaster and Tim Surjak of Brodhead Juda. We asked them about the players on the Russell office's injury report. If you've been injured, contact Russell offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLaw.wi.com. Also get you the People's State Bank coin toss, the Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups, our Cuba City Family Dental colors of the game, the Dewey Stein Repair exclusive turf and weather report, and the kickoff between Brodhead Juda and Lancaster on homecoming night here at Lancaster High School. Our Rally Cheese pregame show is presented by Rally Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County.
Don't forget the cheese.
Back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 1.
For the past 70 years, Grant Regional Health Center has been more than a hospital. We've been your neighbors, your caregivers. Your support in life's biggest moments. From welcoming new life to standing strong in times of need, we've grown with you because of you. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we remain committed to our communities and what matters most, exceptional local care for you. Grant Regional Health Center, celebrating 70 years of caring for our communities.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
Pregame 1.
Back on the Rally Cheese pregame show on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Brodhead Juda and Lancaster going at it in an SWC matchup in week number 7. And we are joined now by Brodhead Juda head coach Tim Surjak. Coach, thanks for joining us and looking at the team's overall record and the play as of late coming into this matchup with Lancaster. An 0-6 record and coming off a loss to Prairie du Chien a week ago. First-year coach and in a roster that tends to have a lot of underclassmen that are kind of occupying a lot of space on the roster. Talk about what you've seen from your team to this point in the season and what are maybe some of the bright spots that don't necessarily show up in the box score and on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we're a pretty young team, and that's no excuse, for some of the things we're trying to do here, discipline-wise and effort and all that stuff that we're putting out on the football field. But yeah, unfortunately, we're at this 0-6 position, on the outside looking in, and the good thing is the mindset of these kids is, week in and week out, it's still there, and they're excited because they have an opportunity here again this week to play another football game. So that's what we're going to do.
All right, and then as you mentioned, with the 0-6 record, there's still a positive attitude and things in the locker room. What are the things that you're most satisfied with since the start of the season to this point, and what are some of the things you're looking to continue growing as the season wraps up in the next 3 weeks?
Well, just a lot. There's been a lot of growth, and there's been some surprises from some younger guys, which is good to see. And we unfortunately some guys had to play a lot of football this year, probably before they were ready to. And the good thing is a lot of those have they've had some growth, and they're growing as a football player and as a young man, and so that's something to look forward to here coming in the next couple of years.
All right, excellent. That's good to hear. That's Tim Surgic, the head coach of Brodhead Juda, as they head into their matchup with Lancaster. Our Russell office's injury report. Talk about the team health heading into this matchup with the Arrows and really the health since the start of the season. What does the health look like for the Cardinals heading into this matchup?
Yeah, we were pretty fortunate this year, just getting by with some bumps and bruises and a couple more major things, but we're able to get kids back. And it's the same thing this week. We have a couple guys that are playing a little with a couple things, but hopefully we have them out here and getting them as close to 100% as possible.
All right, excellent. And then our Rosemeyer Wealth Management key to the game, a matchup with the Lancaster Flying Arrows, a homecoming game for the Arrows coming up this evening. What are going to be the keys to the game for Brodhead Juda if they're going to have success here tonight?
Biggest thing defensively, we have to be disciplined. Going against this Lancaster offense, we have to be disciplined just with the offense that they're running and stuff within our own scheme, and not letting them kind of get us out of position and dictate what we're going to run. And then offensively, we have to have a better showing on the offensive line. We have to get a faster start. We got to get off the football, and we got to communicate better. We do those things, and we're in this football game, but got to have them.
All right. Looking forward to the matchup. Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Have some fun and good luck tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And that's Tim Surgic, the head coach of the Brodhead Juda Cardinals, and we'll have more on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show after this on 97.7 Country, WGR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 2. When it comes to protecting your home, your roof is your first line of defense. For trusted local roofing expertise, turn to Midwest Roofing and Construction. They're dedicated to providing quality roofing services from minor repairs to complete replacements all year long. Count on their experienced team for reliable workmanship. Call for a free estimate at 1-800-551-8251. That's 1-800-551-8251. Midwest Roofing and Construction, your local roofing pros.
John Deere is putting in work and putting up highlights.
Oh man, look at those passes. Tillage, planting, harvesting.
3 years in, and these pre-owned machines are still at the top of their game. We're talking reliability, performance, and long-term potential.
And get this, these veteran machines can pick up the latest precision tech with ease.
You know it, and fans ready to add John Deere certified pre-owned equipment and more options to their lineup can shop at machinefinder.com.
Booyah!
Pregame 2.
The Raleigh Cheese pregame show continues on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Homecoming game for the Lancaster Flying Arrows as they host Brodhead Juda. And we're joined now by Lancaster head coach Jordan Rowland. Coach, thanks for joining us and coming off another tight ball game, but coming out on the winning side against Dodgeville last week, 28-26, holding off the Dodgeville Dodgers to bring your record to 3-3 on the campaign. Seems like, with the exception of Cuba City, all the games have been one-score games, and coming out on the right side definitely has to feel like a nice confidence booster for the team heading into the final third of the season. Talk about what you saw last week against Dodgeville and how the team has responded to getting back on the winning side.
Oh, yeah, we came out, played pretty well. We gave up one big play right away and then kind of settled in. They didn't get a first down until, halfway through the third quarter. We played well in the first half, and we've done that in previous games too. We just kind of hung on. It's just more, learning experiences for our kids, I guess. That's the best way we can, just putting an importance on the little things and how little things throughout a game can end, can have a big result on the end of the game. So we're just keep, hopefully the experience, keeps gaining for us. So when we're in tight games later on in the year, we can be on the right side of them.
Yep, and as we mentioned, with those games being tight, and really a handful of plays have really made a difference between being undefeated and being 3-3 at this point. Are there common things that you're seeing in the wins versus the losses, as far as execution, or just little things that you can tighten up?
Yeah, I think penalties are obviously an issue. I know like a lot of people, say stuff about that. It's a high school football game. There's going to be penalties. We just got to make sure it's as minimal as possible. Like, we rarely have a game without a penalty. And last week we were a team that was penalized less than our opponents, and I think that affects the outcome of games. But then the Platteville game, there wasn't a ton of penalties either side. So penalties sway, just little things throughout the game. I know, like, we're 10 points away from being undefeated, but we're also 4 points away from being 1-5. So it's just, you're on that teeter-totter of, being a very good team, or, by record standpoint, you're a very bad team. So just little things we got to clean up. It's usually all self-inflicted, whether it's like a missed assignment, penalty, missed tackle, all those kind of things kind of fall on us. So if we can clean it up and focus on us a little bit more than the opponent, I think that's what we need to do. Just clean ourselves up and take care of what we can control.
All right, Jordan Rowland with us on the Raleigh Chiefs pregame show, getting ready for Lancaster and Brodhead Juda in tonight's SWC matchup. Let's talk about the Russell office's injury report. Sounds like a few of the key players starting to work their way back into the rotation, which is a positive sign, especially at this point in the season. Talk about the team health heading into the matchup with Brodhead Juda.
Yeah, we'll have everybody that is able to play ready tonight. We still have two kids, Muldoon and Cruel. We've lost kind of for the year, but everybody else seems to be healthy. There's a couple nicks and a couple guys are playing hurt and that stuff, but that's kind of to be expected in week 7 of the season. Not everyone's going to be 100%, but everybody's healthy enough to go tonight, so it should be a good kind of the best team we can put out there.
Excellent, especially good with the game being the homecoming game for Lancaster as well. That brings us to our Rosemeyer Wealth Management keys to the game, taking on Brodhead Juda. Obviously a program, a very young program, a new head coach, and trying to get their footing under them down the home stretch of the season. What stands out to you about Brodhead Juda, and what does Lancaster have to do tonight?
They're pretty, they're kind of establishing the run. They've had some success running the ball on some teams of late. So we're going to have to stop the run. They have a couple fast backs that we'll have to stop. Interior, they have a couple kids that are some bigger, big kids. And we're not a very big team, so that'll cause some issues potentially for us. So we got to just be stout in the middle, stop the run, and then we'll establish the run. We got to be a little more, not so predictable. We'll have to throw a little bit more tonight, especially if they load the box. We got to be able to be efficient, a lot more efficient in the pass game and pass protection than what we have been lately.
All right, looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Have some fun and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, that's Jordan Rowland, the head coach of the Lancaster Flying Arrows, and we'll have more on the Raleigh Chiefs pregame show after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 1.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
In Game 1.
Raleigh Cheese pregame show continues on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Lancaster and Brodhead Juda set to square off on Lancaster's homecoming game. Tyler Dictanis and Brad Adams with the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Ayers Furniture in downtown Ridgeway for free delivery on heirloom quality furniture for every room in your home. For what's sure to be the best seat in your house, be sure to visit Ayers Furniture and AyersFurniture.com. We just saw the People's State Bank coin toss, and Brad, you were watching that intently. What's the outcome?
Lancaster won the toss and deferred till the second half, so Brodhead Juda will receive and go left to right.
All right, excellent. So we'll set up the Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups for the Brodhead Juda offense, brought to you by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. Starting for the Brodhead Juda Cardinals at quarterback number 10, Logan Krupke, a sophomore. 248 passing yards, no touchdowns, and 5 interceptions on the season. Also 3 rushing attempts for 4 yards. In the backfield, number 72, Jordan Dix, and number 14, Jaden Brown. Also at running back, the lead ball carrier, number 2, Grayson Arndt, 655 yards on the ground with 5 rushing touchdowns. And the wingback is number 5, Braylon Strelo. The receiver, number 3, Nolan Bump, 17 catches for 131 yards on the season. And number 12, Caden Reese, the tight end, also in the starting lineup. The offensive line from left to right, number 68, Lucas Keedig. Number 50, Chase Bauman. Number 79, Ryan Zumbergall. Number 51, Tyler Coleman. And number 67, Logan Brzezinski. And we will get you the Lancaster defensive starters. On the defensive end will either be number 21 or number 52, Trayson Fishnick. We'll see which jersey number he goes with here tonight. Also at defensive end, number 22, Declan Clark. We'll also see Austin Addison and Brady McCartney along the defensive line for the Arrows. The linebacking crew, a bit of a change. Number 70, Preston Clemens is still in, as is Jackson Seipel. But at the middle linebacker spot, it'll be number 29, Braden Lenz, as number 0, Toy Raggets moves to the defensive secondary. Also in the secondary with Raggets, it's number 2, Brady Schmitz, number 28, Nolan Hankey, and number 13, Lucas Weber. We'll also see a rotation with number 16, Brody Krubel, and number 11, Aiden Wilson. So those are the Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups for when Brodhead Juda is on offense. Now let's talk about when the Lancaster Flying Arrows are on offense. Their starters go like this. At quarterback number 0, Toy Raggets, also a sophomore. 857 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And on the ground, 101 rushing attempts for 614 yards and 10 TDs on the ground. The workhorse running back, number 28, Nolan Hankey, 128 rushing attempts for 973 yards, could eclipse 1,000 potentially on the first drive of the game. 7.6 yards per carry and 9 touchdowns, also 3 catches for 124 yards and 1 touchdown on his stat line. The receiving core, number 1, Taylor Williams back in the mix, coming off an injury. Also, number 3, Dane Kaufman, and number 11, Aiden Wilson. The tight end is number 16, Brody Krubel. The offensive line from left to right, number 56, Gabe Wagner, number 70, Preston Clemens, number 71, Wyatt McLean, number 51, Ashton Sisley, and number 55, Brady Lowinger. For the Brodhead Juda defense along the defensive line, number 51, Tyler Coleman, number 67, Logan Brzezinski, number 52, Channing Wilhite, and number 72, Jordan Dix. The linebacking crew, number 44, Wyatt Anderson, number 14, Jaden Brown, and number 12, Caden Reese. The defensive secondary at the corners, number 3, Nolan Bump, and at number 1, Landon Malcook. And the safeties, number 5, Braylon Strelo, and number 9, Wyatt Kieser. Those are the Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. For our Cuba City Family Dental colors of the game, brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. Lancaster going with their home blue jerseys with gold pants and gold helmets with the Arrow logos on each side. And for Brodhead Juda, they are in their black helmets, white jerseys with, it looks like, red numbers, and black pants. Those are the colors of the game, brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. Our Dewey's Tire Repair Turf and Weather Report. For all of your farm, auto, and truck tire sales and service needs, the best place to take a look, Dewey's Tire Repair in Platteville. I don't know what month it is, Brad. It feels like it's August, but it's October, and it's 79 degrees outside. Feels like 81. We've been spoiled with the weather that we've had, but the weather tonight going to be on the hot side, so cramping and stuff like that, things that we got to keep tabs on.
It definitely feels like this is week 1 or week 2 weather here. It's very warm, especially up here in the booth. And yeah, hopefully the players did a good job of hydrating throughout the day and week to avoid those cramps. But yeah, I would not be surprised if we see a little bit of cramping here tonight.
It definitely. And the field looks to be in really good shape, too. Not a lot of brown spots or anything like that. You might see them on the sidelines for each team, but as far as the middle part of the field, looks like we've got a good track here for both these teams here tonight.
Yep, seems like we've been relatively good with the weather so far. We had that one Friday night where it poured, but have been not so much rain to tear up the fields, and yeah, the field looks in great condition.
All right, excellent. So we will take a timeout as the homecoming court is being introduced here at Lancaster. We'll take a timeout. We'll wrap up our Raleigh Cheese pregame show and get you to the kickoff between Lancaster and Brodhead, Juda. This has been the Raleigh Cheese pregame show presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. Kickoff coming up next on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 2.
Hi, this is Steve Schmidt, owner of the Shoebox in downtown Black Earth. We have thousands of pairs of shoes in stock, no waiting. So stop in anytime, specializing in size, selection, and fit. We will save you money. P.S. We measure both feet. Stop into the Shoebox, the largest shoe store at the north end of Black Earth.
Like any business, success in dairying is often determined by who you know rather than what you know. That's why it's good to know the pros at Fuller's, your Gia dealer. Fuller's is your source for the automated milking systems line and all of the latest in automated milking systems. Make your operation more efficient and profitable and get the most out of your dairy herd by partnering with the experts at Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster, Richland Center, and FullersMilkersCenter.com.
Fuller's Milker Center. Catch Andrew's Egg Service coverage of Wisconsin football on 97.7 WGLR and Wisconsin basketball on AM 1590 WPBL. Presented by Digman Construction. Queen Bee Radio is your home for Badger sports.
In Game 2.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by Laley Center Monroe and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. We'll take one more time out and we'll come back with our national anthem after this on WGLR.
In Game 3.
Some things are meant to come in a box, like chocolates, phones, or jewelry, but some things aren't, like a mattress. Hi, this is Doug Dolter with Dubuque Mattress, and there are two major reasons why your next mattress should not come from a box. First, when foam is compressed for too long, it will lose its ability to return to its full thickness. And second, a good quality mattress, one worth the money you paid for it, is too heavy to ship by parcel service. With mattresses, lighter isn't better, period. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
If summer travel has worn down your Toyota's tires, now is a great time to replace those treads during the tire savings event at Anderson Weber Toyota. In the month of October, buy 3 tires and get the 4th one for only $1. All tires purchased at Anderson Weber qualify for free tire rotations for the life of the tires. Restrictions apply. See Anderson Weber Toyota for details. Buy 3 tires for your Toyota, get the 4th for only $1 during the Toyota Tire Savings Event only during October at Anderson Weber Toyota next to Target in Dubuque. Anderson Weber Toyota, when your tires are ready.
In Game 3.
Outstanding, well done by the Lancaster Marching Band, the national anthem. Before kickoff between Lancaster and Brodhead, Juda, on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tyler DeTanis and Brad Adams with the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. On our Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. All 4 Queen Bee radio stations have high school football tonight over on X1071. Welcome back, John Satterley, to the Queen Bee radio family. He's got the call with Mike Hoosier as River Valley taking on Platteville. Good matchup there. That one again on X1071 and X1071.com. We also have a big matchup in the Six Rivers on Super Hits 106 in the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Potosi Castle taking on Seneca Wazeeka Steuben. Big time conference implications there in the Six Rivers. RJ Osterhaus and Wally Troughton with the call of that game. And then on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, 8-player football, Belmont hosting DeSoto. Big conference implications in the Ridge and Valley 8. On that one as well, Steve Prestigard and Scott Tolzman with the call of that one again over on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And as we bring you updates on those games, we'll bring them to you on our Shoebox scoreboard again, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. All of our touchdowns tonight brought to you by Northland Buildings, and our extra points brought to you by Point and Flush Sportsman's Club in Potosi. Any turnovers in tonight's game will be brought to you by Lancaster Dental Associates and Fenimore Smiles. Our first downs are brought to you by Sullivan Auctioneers and Big Iron Realty. Quarterback sacks brought to you by Sups.com. And when the team reaches the red zone, for us, it's the Bytech Green Zone, a greener way. Bytech Resource Management of Monroe. And any penalties tonight will be brought to you by Pink's Automotive. The Brodhead Juda Cardinals send their kick return team out to the field. Set to return is number 2, Grayson Arndt, and number 5, Braylon Strelo. And we anticipate seeing kicking things off for the Arrows. It'll be number 6, Nettie Chapua.
It'll be interesting to see how Lancaster comes out here. You heard Coach Rolland in the pregame talk about the little things and kind of coming out focused. It's homecoming week. There's always distractions on there. So you hope that the kids were able to kind of put those distractions to the side and able to focus here and hopefully come out very strong versus Brodhead Juda here.
Yeah, for Brodhead Juda, again, looking for their first win of the season. They want to potentially play spoiler for Lancaster's homecoming as well. So both teams looking to get this game on the right foot, and it looks like it's going to be number 0, Toy Raggett's set to kick things off for the Arrows. Here's the run-up and the kick, and we are underway on 97.7 Country WGLR FM Lancaster, and the kick will be fielded at about the 22-yard line, but the returner fell to his knees, and it will be 1st and 10 for Brodhead Juda on the far side of the field as number 5, Braylon Strelo, I don't know if he lost his footing or just crouched down to get the ball, and we'll see how Brodhead Juda comes out on 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
We'll see if the Lancaster defensive line can hold up against the Brodhead Juda. Brodhead Juda does have a pretty big offensive line, as you heard Coach Rolland say, so they'll make sure you have good technique and be disciplined on defense.
1st and 10 is number 10, Logan Krupke, the quarterback, under center. Everyone tight along the line of scrimmage, and a give inside to the fullback. As didn't see who the ball carrier was on that one. It was either Jordan Dix or Jaden Brown. But the ball carrier brings it out to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for Brodhead Juda. Second play from scrimmage coming up.
I think it was Brown with the carry on that one, but I did not get a clear view.
Also right on the middle of the field, a wide receiver wide to the right side. That's number 3, Nolan Bump. Everyone else tied up against the line of scrimmage. And a give to the wingback, and he is tackled in the backfield. Great reaction by the Lancaster defensive line. Nolan Hankey there to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and it looks like it's back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10, and it looks like we have an injured player down for Brodhead Juda. Looks to be number 8, Lucas Keating, the left tackle.
If you're Lancaster, pretty good first 2 plays of the game here on defense. Very disciplined on that last one on the end around, staying home and making sure they weren't able to get any yards.
All right, while they take the injury timeout, we'll tell you that our game is brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop at Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. Also by Rural Mutual agents John Raggets and Nadine Dahl with Raggets & Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them at their office in Lancaster. And by Southwest Health, with over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. The dental office in Lancaster. The dental office is a trusted name for high-quality family dental care, proud to be the preferred provider of dentistry in Lancaster.
Keenan's able to walk off, it looks like, on his own power, so hopefully he can get back in here. And he is one of the seniors for Brodhead Juda, so a young team gets even a little bit younger here now, right, for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, looks like he only plays on the offensive line, one of the 7 seniors on the team, so one of those leaders on the team, at least as far as senior leadership goes. Now off the field for Brodhead Juda. Clock continues to wind as we are at 10:50 to play in the first quarter. Third play from scrimmage. It is 3rd and 9 at the 24-yard line. Ball spotted in the middle of the field. Driving back to pass is Krupke, looking down to the near side. Ball is caught, but an immediate tackle right there by Lucas Weber as he's able to hold Strelo in check, and it'll be 4th down for Brodhead Juda. And they will spot the football at the 28-yard line. Called a gain of 5.
A nice little out pattern there, and good job by the Lancaster defense to bring him down right away.
Grayson R., number 2, is their listed punter. And it looks like he's going to drop back to punt, and it looks like Lucas Weber is going to run back to return for the Arrows, standing at the Lancaster 40-yard line. Harden with the snap, and he's going to take off on the left side. No, he finally gets the punt away. And it's going to be an end-over-end punt and takes a bounce at the 42-yard line and will be downed at the Lancaster 36. Thought Arm was going to take off with it for just a moment. He lured the defenders in, and he just barely got that punt off. There were 2 defenders in the backfield looking to take a shot.
Yeah, you see a lot of RPOs in the college offense. That almost seemed like a punt option. Of
a run punt option.
Yeah, you can either run it if the defense backs off and is back to cover the kick, or you punt it. And that's exactly what they did there.
9:47 to play in the first quarter. Lancaster's first offensive snap. Coming up here is Toy Raggets brings the offense to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 with 3 receivers out to the left side. That's Krubel, Wilson, and Kaufman. And 1 receiver out to the right. That's Taylor Williams. And Raggets is out of the shotgun and a Pinks penalty before the first snap. And looks like it's offsides on Brodhead Juda. So a free 5 yards for the Arrows before they even snap the ball. 1st and 5. That'll put the football at the 41-yard line in Lancaster territory.
Not quite what you're looking for if you're Brodhead Juda there.
Yep, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, same formation as Raggets fakes inside, now throws over the middle, looking for the homecoming king, Aiden Wilson, and the pass is incomplete. Just out of the reach, had the right read on the seam, but pass is just a bit off target. 2nd and 5 coming up for Lancaster.
And we just got done talking about the RPOs, and Lancaster ran an RPO right there with Raggets. Made a great read, just missed him over through number 11.
Ian
Wilson for the would have been a touchdown pass there.
Aiden Wilson receiving on the season, 13 catches for 329 yards and 2 touchdowns. As it is 2nd and 5, and another Pinks penalty from the far sideline.
Looks like another offsides.
And another offsides will give another free 5 yards for the Arrows. And that'll bring up 1st and 10. After back-to-back Pinks penalties for Brodhead Juda.
Defensive line's going to have to make some sort of adjustment. Obviously, maybe they've been able to get away with that in earlier games, but now the refs are calling a little tighter in this one. We'll see if they make an adjustment.
It's not a lot of movement. It's just someone's helmet is in the neutral zone.
Yep.
2 receivers to each side of the formation. Raggets with the keeper on the right side. Drops the shoulder, shakes away from 1 defender, still on his feet at the 40-yard line before finally being wrestled down. I believe he's got enough forward progress to move the sticks. A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty 1st down, I believe, for the Flying Arrows as the football is in Brodhead Juda territory at the 41.
Nice tough run there by Raggets. The offense kind of runs through Raggets and Hankey here, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get rolling here quick.
Game tonight brought to you by West End Salvage of Lancaster. See Junkyard Joe Cranston, the West End Salvage team for recycling as well as construction and demolition waste too. West End Salvage of Lancaster. 3 receivers, trip to the left side, 1 to the right. Another shotgun look as a fake inside to Hankey and a pump fake by Raggets rolling right. Has a receiver open, is caught by Kaufman at the 20, and he's all alone along the sideline and into the end zone. Touchdown, Lancaster. Dane Kaufman with touchdown reception number 3 on the season. Touchdown pass number 7 for Toy Raggets. Raggets doing a good job buying time on that rollout to the right side, and once Kaufman caught the ball, the defender was down on the ground and no one could catch him.
Yep, nice play there, and yeah, like you said, Raggets was able to buy enough time for his wide receivers to get open, and once he caught it, he was gone.
41-yard touchdown pass and catch between Raggets and Kaufman, and now Nettie Chapua lining up for the point and flush extra point. 4 for 10 on extra points on the season. Snap is down, kick is up and over end, through the uprights, and good. Good start for the Lancaster Flying Arrows, 7-0 with 9:05 to play in quarter number 1. Back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 4.
Attention business owners. Are you tired of monthly fees eating into your profits? Look no further than People State Bank. People State Bank's business checking account has no monthly service charge. Yes, you heard that right. 0 monthly service charges. But that's not all. Enjoy free ATM and debit cards, free online and mobile banking, and free bill pay services. With People State Bank, managing your business finances has never been easier or more affordable. Stop wasting your hard-earned money on unnecessary fees. Switch to People State Bank today and take care of your business finances. People State Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to tire needs, don't reinvent the wheel. Just visit Dewey's Tire. Dewey's has you covered with car and truck tires, trailer tires, plus tires for ATVs and UTVs. Dewey's can even service tire pressure monitor sensors. And when you're busy all week but still need to get that tire taken care of, Dewey's is open Saturdays too. Stop by and check out their latest discounts. Come see why they are the best place to take a leak. Dewey's Tire, a mile north of Platteville on Highway 81.
In Game 4.
Lancaster jumps out to a 7-0 lead with 9:05 to play in the first quarter, and an onside kick for Lancaster, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Now, did the ball get far enough for them to recover? I don't think it did.
I don't believe it did either.
Yeah, it looks like the nose of the football is on the Lancaster side of the 50, so Lancaster's special teams trying to catch Brodhead Juda napping, but just couldn't quite pull off the execution of it, as even Brodhead Juda kind of just laid back and didn't pursue the football. That's a live ball.
Yeah, but Brodhead Juda just kind of laid back and said, we'll see if this goes 10 yards. They're lucky he didn't get about another half yard. Otherwise, it's a Lancaster ball.
Yeah, it barely missed going the required 10 yards, but that will put the football at the Lancaster 45-yard line.
We'll see if Brodhead can take advantage of this opportunity they were given here.
Brodhead Juda offense comes to the line of scrimmage. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the game. Kripke under center, and the wing T look, and a fake to the deep back, and swallowed up in the backfield for a Subston Cup sack is Kripke, and I believe that was Declan Clark, the first one there to make the tackle. Tried the bootleg, but no one bit on the Lancaster defensive line. Another big loss on the Subs.com sack. 2nd and long coming up for Brodhead Juda. The ball on the Brodhead Juda side of the 50 at the 48.
Yeah, disciplined defense there by Lancaster. They stayed home, didn't bite on the fake, and the quarterback there did not have very much time. Once the play action happened, he did not have very much time to find anybody downfield. Game
today brought to you by Lely Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist Jordan Wilson at Lely Center Monroe. It'll be 2nd down and 18. Ball spotted in the middle of the field at the Brodhead Juda 48. Kripke looking to pitch it to the near side, looking for the wingback, and it's the fullback, actually, number 14, Jaden Brown, and he is swallowed up in the backfield for another loss. And there is just no room to run for Brodhead Juda early on. The Lancaster defense standing very strong as the football now spotted at the Brodhead Juda 44-yard line, a loss of 4 on that play.
Lancaster defense looks like they came to play. They're doing a good job of staying home and not biting on any of these fakes on the read option there. Good good job of staying home and defending both the quarterback and the running back there.
3rd down and 21 and an official's timeout. Looks like there's an equipment issue with number 5, Braden Strelo. He's going to run to the Brodhead Juda sideline. And another player will come back onto the field. This is going to be number 9, Wyatt Kieser. Kieser lining up in the right wingback spot. Again, 3rd and 21, 7:38 to play in the first quarter, and a Pinks penalty flag and offsides called against Lancaster.
I think the Brodhead Juda lineman was lined up.
The official on the sideline indicated offsides. White hat says it's a false start, and last I checked, the white hat has more authority, so we're going to say false start on Brodhead Juda on that Pinks penalty, which will make it 3rd and 26.
It looked like the right guard or right tackle was just kind of lined up like right in line with the ball, and that's a no-no.
So a drive starting at the Lancaster 45 is brought all the way back to the Brodhead Juda 38. Near side hash mark, 7:25 and counting in the first quarter. Lancaster 7, Brodhead Juda nothing. As the Cardinals trying to find something offensively. One receiver out to the right side, and an end around to number 2, Grayson Arn, and Arn nowhere to room on the left side edge. Great tackle there at the line of scrimmage by the Lancaster defense. I believe that was Preston Clemens there to make the first one there, and it will be 4th down for Brodhead Juda. They'll punt it away again.
We'll see if they keep this run-punt option play on here. Yeah, definitely not what a drive that you're looking for if you're Brodhead Juda. You were giving the ball at the 45 of Lancaster. Now you're back in your own territory, backed up a little bit, and we'll see if they try to catch Lancaster with another surprise here or if they just strictly punt the ball away.
Yeah, Arn set to punt it away for Brodhead Juda, and Lucas Weber back deep to return, standing inside the Lancaster 30-yard line. And this is a easy punt as Weber calls fair catch, and it will be downed at the Lancaster 26-yard line. So the second drive for Lancaster coming up here, leading 7-0 with 6:24 to play in quarter number 1. Lancaster cashing in on their first drive, starting at their own 36-yard line and cashing in on a 41-yard touchdown pass from Raggets to Dane Kaufman. The arrow spreading it out again as Raggets will go under center. 3 receivers trips to the right side. 1 receiver out to the left. That's Taylor Williams. And Raggets drops the snap. And ball still loose on the turf. And it looks like Lancaster recovers it. But again, those little self-inflicted mistakes, those have been the things that Coach Jordan Rowland was mentioning during our pregame show. And those are the little things that can make the difference between what your record is and what that margin of victory looks like, because Lancaster's been in so many tight ball games, those mistakes can definitely compound.
Yep, it seems like Lancaster's had this happen a few times through this year, and those are just little mistakes that they need to clean up.
3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, and a give inside to Hankey, and Hankey stonewalled at the line of scrimmage, but the second effort gets across the line of scrimmage and across the 25 to the 26. And it will be 3rd down and about 10 to go for the Arrows as we close in on 5.5 minutes left in quarter number 1. Lancaster with a 7-0 lead.
Brodhead Juda doing a good job of maintaining Hankey there. Hankey's a very tough runner, and you got to gang tackle him, otherwise he's going to be running for a long while.
Mountain City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval as a pass is caught by Krubel at the 40 or the 35-yard line, and he is tackled just shy of the 45, and that is enough for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for the Flying Arrows as the Arrows convert on 3rd and long.
A nice pass play there. Krubel was able to kind of sit down in an open spot in the defense there and was able to bring it in for an 18-yard gain.
Gain of 18 on the play. Lancaster to the line of scrimmage quickly on 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the right side and another give inside to Hankey, but Hankey, not a lot of room to go as a great tackle made along the defensive line by number 67, Logan Brzezinski, holding Nolan Hankey to a minimal gain by his standards, and it looks like he just got back to the line of scrimmage, actually, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for Lancaster, as we were mentioning before. Mountain City Bank offers subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. 4:25 and counting, second down and 10. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. As Raggets fakes to Hankey, now bounces it to the right side, gets across the 50, and a couple defenders take him down at the first down marker, and it looks like forward progress will move the sticks for the Flying Arrows Toy Raggets with a nice 10-yard run. A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down, I believe. Yes, finally.
Yeah, nice run by Raggets there. It'll be interesting to see if Lancaster tries to get more to the outside. Brodhead Juda has a huge defensive tackle. He's listed at 6'4", 340 pounds in the middle of the defense, and that's causing Hankey some trouble.
Trips to the right, one receiver to the left, and a play fake over the middle, and now a pass downfield looking for Taylor Williams. Catches it at the 20 and sprints into the end zone. Touchdown, Lancaster. A Northland Buildings touchdown for Taylor Williams, his first receiving touchdown of the season coming off the injury, and it's 13-0 Lancaster with 3:43 to play in quarter number 1.
It's good to see Williams get involved here early. I know he's a big part of what Lancaster wants to do on offense. He's been bit by the injury bug here a bit the last couple seasons, so good to see him get involved.
.46 yards. And Nettie Chapua lining up for the point and flush extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, end over end, through the uprights, and good. It's all arrows in quarter number 1, 14-0. Lancaster leading with 3:43 to play in the first quarter on our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football, presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Our game today also brought to you by Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. I'm a rural mutual agents, John Raggett to Dean Dahl with Raggett & Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them at their office in Lancaster. Our touchdowns brought to you by Northland Buildings. For a quality Northland building built tough for the Northland, contact Joe Ryder, your local expert in quality Northland post-frame buildings. And by Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream, Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. Herbst's Ace Hardware at Home Center in Bloomington and Herbst's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main in Platteville. See Herbst's for the perfect paint for your next project. Herbst's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. Lancaster 14, Brodhead Juda nothing on our shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Other updates from the area: Potosi Cassville and Seneca Wazeeka Steuben tied at 7 with 5:45 left in the first quarter on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And Belmont with an 8-0 lead on DeSoto. River Valley and Platteville starting 15 minutes late because of senior night festivities, as the kickoff here will take a bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and Brodhead Juda will set up shop at their own 20-yard line with 3:43 to play in quarter number 1.
If you're Brodhead Juda here, you kind of got to get something going here. They've been going in the wrong direction here in the last few drives and haven't been very successful. So they got to come up with some way to get some yards and take some time off this clock at the very least, and hopefully get down and score some points.
Clare Bank with their 8 convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Clare Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. First and 10 for Brodhead Juda. Drive number 3 of the game went 3 and out in the first 2 possessions. As Krupke brings the offense to the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers, out to the left side of the formation. Krupke with the snap and a give to the fullback, and the fullback moves forward across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. And it looks like it's number 14, Jaden Brown, on the carry that time. Second and about 7 to go. They give him forward progress to the 23.
Good job by Lancaster defensive line still. They're holding Brodhead Juda's running game in check.
Just over 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Lancaster with a 14-0 lead. Second and 7 for the Cardinals. Ball spotted in the middle of the field at the 23-yard line. 1 receiver to each side of the formation. Krupke with the snap, dropping back to pass, looking to the left side. Pass is caught by number 3, Nolan Bump, and makes the catch, gets it across the 25 to about the 26. So a gain of 3 on the play makes it third and manageable. The most manageable third down that Brodhead Juda has seen tonight. And we'll see what the Cardinals draw up, down 14-0 with 2:40 to play in quarter number 1.
They've been a little successful so far on 2 of 2 of passing with those quick little outs. That one looked like if the defender slipped a little bit, and if he didn't slip, he might have been able to jump it, and it might have been going the other way.
Nolan Bunt, the receiver, to the right side of the formation. Everyone else bunched up at the line of scrimmage. As Grayson Arn, now the offense reshuffling a bit as Krupke under center on 3rd and 4. Krupke giving it an end around to number 2, Grayson Arn, and Arn has nowhere to go. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a couple yards, and they say he's got enough for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. I thought he was tackled well behind the line of scrimmage, but it looks like he got enough forward progress to the nose of the football, touching the 30-yard line, the first converted first down for Brodhead Juda.
There was kind of a scrum like right on the line of scrimmage there, and he was able to sneak through for a gain of 3 in a first down.
Game also brought to you by Russell Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. First attempt for Brodhead Juda, and another end around, this time to Braylon Strelo. And Strelo with some room on the left side. Tackled close to the 40-yard line to, looks like the 39. So a gain of 9 on the play for Braylon Strelo. And all of a sudden, back-to-back plays. Able to extend the drive and getting the first down. And now a very successful running play for Brodhead Juda. Sets up 2nd and short.
Yeah, this is, they're finally showing some signs of success here. Let's see if they can keep that going, and if Lancaster adjusts anything. Brodhead's trying to get on the outside of their defense, and for the most part, Lancaster doing a good job of keeping them in there, but the last 2 plays here, they've given up a big play and a first down.
A minute to play in the first quarter. Lancaster with a 14-0 lead, 2nd and 1 for the Cardinals on the far side hash mark. And a give inside. Looks like this is Brown again, and Brown churning his legs, has the first down. Just shy of the Brodhead Juda 45-yard line, and looks like they will spot it at the 44. A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down, and it's right between the 43 and 44-yard lines, but still first and 10 for Brodhead Juda with 50 seconds to play in the quarter.
And Brown is showing he's a tough runner as well, and it's not very easy to bring him down, and Lancaster's got to get multiple guys to him.
Clock now winding. We're under 40 seconds in quarter number 1. One receiver out to the left. Everyone else tight along the formation. And a give to the deep back as I believe this is Strelo looking for some room on the right side, but not a lot of room to go. And the Lancaster defense closes in at the line of scrimmage, holding them to a minimal gain as the ball is spotted at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 1, and that looks like the final play of the first quarter. And the teams will switch sides, and we'll bring you quarter number 2. Lancaster 14, Brodhead Juda nothing. Second quarter coming your way after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 5.
And welcome back to our True Crime Podcast. Our guest today is Sean Cleary.
Wait, what? We are supposed to be doing a commercial about Cleary's storage, egg, and sports facilities.
Great point, Sean. It was a warm summer evening in 1978 when a young man with a hammer.
Whoa, again, not a true crime podcast. I want to talk about Cleary designing the building of your dreams.
In a world where things aren't what they seem.
Okay, give me that. Good grief. Visit ClearyBuilding.com today and experience the Cleary difference.
Save the date for the 2025 Holiday Auction by WGLR for Saturday, December 6th at Tim Slack Auction and Realty in Lancaster. If you, your family, or your business would like to donate an item, please contact Denise Deaton-Tolsman at 608-642-0523. The Holiday Auction supports the Grant County Food Pantries along with families and children with financial needs. Thank you to annual sponsors Breckler Lindowski Insurance Group, Tim Slack Auction and Realty, and TDS Telecom.
In Game 5.
Lancaster 14, Brodhead Juda nothing. Start of the second quarter on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Play number 7 of this drive for Brodhead Juda on 2nd and 8. Now working from right to left as we see it from the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. And as you see it on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, and a give inside to Jaden Brown, surges forward across the line of scrimmage, across the 45 to the 46. Gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 6 coming up for the Brodhead Juda Cardinals. 11:45 to play in the second quarter. As Brodhead Juda trying to find those longer runs. The running game is their primary bread and butter, as they don't have a passing touchdown on the season and not a lot of success passing the ball, but a good drive here to keep the Lancaster offense off the field and try and keep this game close.
This is kind of their first sustained drive. Like you said, the first quarter for them was a little rough. I had them at 20 total yards in the first quarter. But, yeah, this drive is looking a lot better, and we'll see what they can do here on 3rd and long.
3rd and 7 coming up here for the Cardinals at the 47-yard line. Dropping back to pass is Kripke, looking for a receiver on the slant, and it is caught at the Lancaster 45, and that is enough for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down, as the receiver found a soft spot in the zone, and the receiver that time, number 5, Braylon Strelo. And the drive continues on for Brodhead Juda as play number 9 of this drive coming up here with 11 minutes to play until halftime.
Yeah, Brodhead Juda's getting their offense churning here in the right direction and having some success running it. They're really trying to get to the outside, as I said earlier, and yeah, they're 3 for 3 in their passing game. There's nice short passes for the most part, but they're doing a good job in that part as well.
Ball at the Lancaster 44-yard line, 1 receiver to each side of the formation. Kripke under center, 2 backs in the backfield, and a give inside, as that is Brown, and Brown with an open room over the middle, and he will sprint into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown. Jaden Brown with rushing touchdown number 2 on the season, and he sprints for a 44-yard scamper, and Brodhead Juda's on the board, 14-6 with 10:29 to play in the second quarter, and all of a sudden Brodhead Juda finding some life on the offensive side of the ball.
Yep, Brodhead Juda's right back in this game. Nice big hole there for Brown to run through for that 44-yard touchdown. As Coach Rollin kind of said, Lancaster defense has been pretty good for the most part, but they do have the tendency to give up the big play, and we just saw one right there.
Cardinals will line up for the point and flush 2-point conversion. 2 backs in the backfield. And a wing back to the right side of the formation with the tight end. Kripke under center, and wingback goes in motion, but they give inside to Brown, and Brown nowhere to go as the defensive line makes a stand, pushes him back, and the score will remain Lancaster 14, Brodhead Juda 6, 10:29 to play in quarter number 2 on our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And our YouTube stream powered by Lely Center Monroe and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. Game tonight brought to you by Community First Bank. Free in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com, member FDIC. And by Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist, the pros at Brian's gets the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. And by McNett Electric of Belmont, they can assist with all of your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call. I'm ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. And my Breckler Insurance Group for all of your insurance needs. He's Steve Landowski at Breckler Insurance in Fenimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. So Brodhead Juda cashes in on a 9-play drive and a Jaden Brown 44-yard touchdown run to break into the Lancaster lead, 14-6 with 10:29 to play in the second quarter. And boy, the complexity of this game all of a sudden has changed a bit here, Brad.
Yeah, if you're Lancaster, you want to come back out and answer this right away. Brodhead Juda's defense hasn't really shown too much resistance against Lancaster's offense, but we'll see if that changes here after that touchdown.
Squib kick will be fielded on the far side of the field by Krubel, and Lancaster will set up shop at their own 30-yard line or maybe the 29. We'll see where they decide to spot the football. And it will be spotted at the Lancaster 29.
Lancaster's offense has looked very good here early in the game, and it's been in part to their passing game. They've had 2 plays already over 40 yards already in this game, and Regates already has 105 yards passing. We'll see if Brodhead Juda makes any adjustments to try to maintain that a little bit better.
You can definitely tell they wanted to spread the ball out and get all their speedsters out in the open field, and they've had some success so far. Dane Kaufman and Adam Wilson, or beg your pardon, it's Taylor Williams and Kaufman finding the end zone for the Arrows, and a timeout taken by Brodhead Juda.
Looked like they were having a little issue getting lined up there, and coach called timeout to make sure they were all on the same page here before this big drive.
Second timeout taken by Brodhead Juda in this first half. They have 1 remaining. Our game tonight brought to you by WCC Brands Custom Apparel in Kieler and at WCC-brands.com, the Highland State Bank of Highland and at highlandstatebank.net, and by Cole Acres Golf and Grill in Cuba City and at coleacresgolfandgrill.com. Game tonight also brought to you by Southwest Health with over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. First and 10 for Lancaster coming out of the Brodhead Juda timeout. Brodhead Juda with one timeout remaining in the first half. 10:29 to go in the second quarter. Out of the shotgun, Toy Reggets dropping back to pass, looking to the right side, and it is caught by Nolan Hankey across the 40 to the 50, and being tackled down at the Brodhead Juda 47-yard line. And more chunk yardage in the passing game for the Lancaster Flying Arrows. A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty. First and 10 for Lancaster at the Brodhead Juda 48-yard line.
Yeah, nice little. Hankey was able to get out to the sideline there and was pretty much all by himself. A nice catching reception there.
Trips to the left, one receiver to the right side. Raggets under center. Fake inside to Hankey, trying to bounce it to the left side, but a great tackle made at the line of scrimmage by number 44, Wyatt Anderson of Brodhead Juda. Makes a nice ankle tackle as Raggets might have gotten forward progress and a gain of 1. We'll call it the 47-yard line, 2nd and 9, coming up for the Arrows.
Brodhead Juda is still making it very tough on Lancaster to get any sort of running game going here. Hankey's had a tough time getting going up the middle, and Raggets also has had a tough time getting going in the running game.
Two receivers to the left, one to the right as Raggets fakes again and now bounces it to the left side. It's across the 40-yard line, still on his feet at the 35, and finally wrestled down near the 35-yard line. Raggets showing some shiftiness, bouncing it to the left side, and it will be another Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down as they will say Raggets was stopped at the 36-yard line. Called a gain of 11.
Raggets was able to get to the outside there and was able to get a nice gain. Lancaster's had a lot of success running the ball when they are able to get outside. It's just been very tough so far.
Two receivers wide to the right, one to the left out of the shotgun again for Toy Raggets. Hankey to his right. Raggets with the pass, trying to roll right, shake away from one defender, tosses it, and it's going to be incomplete as he tried to get rid of it before avoiding a Subs.com sack as Logan Brzezinski making his presence felt along that defensive line. We've called his number a couple different times tonight. He's been one of the disruptors for Brodhead Juda when the Cardinal defense able to make a smart play and able to make Raggets get rid of it before he wanted to. Sets up 2nd and 10 with 8:40 to go. Lancaster up 14-6.
Yeah, Raggets did a good job of getting rid of the ball before he was sacked, but that play could have had disaster written all over it. Could have been a very big loss, or worse yet, a pick six, but he was able to get rid of it safely and was able to keep the yardage where it was.
Two receivers to each side of the formation. Hankey in a 3-point stance behind Raggets, and someone jumped early. Who's responsible for it? They call offsides on Brodhead Juda. That'll make it 2nd and 5 as the football moves to the Brodhead Juda 31 on that Pinks penalty.
If you're Brodhead Juda, you're trying to avoid those type of penalties. Those are just mental mistakes. Being a young team, you're trying to avoid those, but being as young as they are, some of those that will happen from time to time. You just wish they weren't.
Arrows come out in the same formation again. Two receivers to each side. Raggets under center. Now Raggets peeks up a bit, reads the defense. Hollers something to the right side. Goes back under center for a moment. And now a timeout taken by Lancaster as Coach Jordan Rolland not happy with whenever Raggets was barking out. So Lancaster spends their first timeout with 8:40 to play in the second quarter. Lancaster up 14-6. Tell you that our game is brought to you by the dental office located in Lancaster. The dental office is a trusted name for high-quality family dental care. Proud to be the preferred provider of dentistry in Lancaster. And by West End Salvage of Lancaster, see Junkyard Joe Krantz and the West End Salvage team for recycling as well as construction and demolition waste too. West End Salvage of Lancaster. And by Laley Center Monroe, call your local dairy automation specialist, Jordan Wilson, at Laley Center Monroe.
See what Lancaster comes out of the timeout with here. As I said, they've had a very tough time getting the running game going up the middle. If they're able to get out to the outside, they're having a little bit more success, and their pass game has been very successful so far.
Play number 5 of this drive for Lancaster. This is the longest drive in terms of plays for the Arrows so far tonight. And as we said, they've cashed in on touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. Right gets out of the shotgun, fakes inside to Hankey. Now pump fakes. Goes over the middle, finds Stain Kaufman at the 20-yard line, and he's wrestled down inside the Bitech green zone at about the 15-yard line. And we'll see where they spot the football, but it will be a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down inside the 20 for the Arrows, and it looks like it's going to be
right at the 15, I believe.
Yep, just on the 15-yard line on the far side hash mark.
Riggins kind of had his pick of the litter there. He could have hit Kaufman like he did, or he had Aiden Wilson was also breaking deep open as well.
2 receivers to each side. Raggets under center. Hankey in a 3-point stance. Someone from Brodhead, Juda jumps but gets back in time. Raggets stands up, now back under center. Raggets gives inside to Hankey, and Hankey turning his legs, falling forward, and gets forward progress. Maybe a gain of 3 or 4. Hard to tell where they were going to spot the football.
Looks like almost under the 10-yard line. It's at the 10 or 11. One of the 2.
We'll call it the 11. We'll call it a gain of 4 with 7:40 to play and counting in the second quarter. Lancaster up 14-6 on Brodhead Juda, but the Arrows threatening play number 7 of this drive coming up. Bunch of big bodies to the right side of the formation this time, and a give inside to Hankey, and Hankey again surging forward, and he might be inside the 5-yard line, as it is a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down, and it will be 1st and goal to go for the Lancaster Flying Arrows. As the Arrows come out in the same formation, Aiden Wilson, the lone receiver, out wide to the left side of the formation. Raggets going to give inside to Hankey, and Hankey is in the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown. Nolan Hankey able to run it in from 1 yard out. And it's rushing touchdown number 10 for him on the season. 7:07 to play in the first quarter. Lancaster up 20-6 in the point and flush extra point coming up here.
And Hankey was able to get himself going there near the end of that drive and was able to punch that in.
Nettie Chapua sets the lineup for the extra point. 2 for 2 on the night. Snap is down. Kick is up, end over end, through the uprights, and good. So on homecoming night, Dane Kaufman gets a touchdown. Taylor Williams gets a touchdown. And now Nolan Hankey cashing in, finishing off an 8-play drive. And the Arrows extend their lead 21-6 with 7:07 to play in the second quarter. Tyler Dictanis and Brad Adams for the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth, and a great response by Lancaster after surrendering a touchdown on a long touchdown run by Jaden Brown, and now Brodhead Juda having to collect themselves and see if they can keep that offensive momentum going.
Yeah, it was a great response by Lancaster, exactly what you're looking for. A nice sustained drive for them. They've had quick hitter kind of drives earlier in the game, but that one was nice sustained. Marched down the field, able to answer it, and now you got Brodhead Juda back kind of a little bit on the ropes.
Game tonight brought to you by Lancaster Auto Body in Lancaster, specializing in top quality collision repair, leaving your vehicle looking as good as new. Lancaster Auto Body, where they say we meet by accident. See them at LancasterAutoBodyLLC.com. It looks like Toy Raggets will continue the kickoff duties for Lancaster. He's been kind of in a rotation with Nettie Chapua on kickoffs throughout the season. Fakes the run up, and now the Lancaster special teams unit fans out, and back to return for Brodhead Juda is Grayson Arn and Braylon Strelo. And an end over and kick will be fielded by Strelo at the 18-yard line, and Strelo brings it out across the 20 and near the 30-yard line before being tackled at the 29. And 1st and 10 for Brodhead Juda with 7:02 to play in the second quarter, down 21-6. Looking to follow up their last drive, which was a 9-play drive, resulting in that Jaden Brown 44-yard touchdown scamper.
If you're Brodhead Juda, you're kind of trying to do the same type of drive you had last time. Nice sustained drive for them where they were finally able to pop off that long run for a 44-yard touchdown. And if you're Lancaster defense, just get back to the first few possessions of the game, staying home, being disciplined, and making sure you know where the ball is going.
Gave Strela forward progress, nose of the football, touching the 30-yard line on the near side hash mark. Kripke under center for the Cardinals. One receiver to each side of the formation, two backs in the backfield. And Kripke going to give inside to Brown, and Brown just falls forward for a gain of 1, maybe 2. We'll see where they spot the football, but the Lancaster defensive line making up for the mistake that they had on that big touchdown run earlier.
Yep, good job there of staying home up the middle especially, and not allowing that big hole to happen like they did on the last drive.
Second and a short 9, long 8, depending on your perspective, with 6:30 to go in the second quarter. Lancaster 21, Brodhead Juda 6. Two receivers, or one receiver out to the right, I should say. Multiple wingbacks as the offense reshifts. Kripke under center. Kripke with a snap, dropping back to pass. Pressure coming from his backside, and a throw is going to be incomplete. Had to get rid of it. Pass intended for Caden Reese, the tight end. But a big rush coming from his blind side, and able to get rid of it just in time. Sets up 3rd and 9 with 6:10 to go in the second quarter as the Lancaster defense continuing to apply that pressure.
Yeah, Braden Lenz was coming off the right side there, unblocked as a linebacker on a blitz, and almost got home and forced the incomplete pass.
Game also brought to you by Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty. If you have livestock, farmland, or buildings to sell, call Daryl Kraft. Visit bigiron.com to learn more. 3rd and 9 for Brodhead Juda. About the 31-yard line on the near side hash mark. One receiver out to the right side of the formation. Two wingbacks and a fullback in the backfield for the Cardinals. And an end around carry to one of the wingbacks. That's number 2, Grayson Arn. And Arn stonewalled at the line of scrimmage once again. The Lancaster defense stands tall, and it will be 4th and long. As forward progress brings it out to the 33, called a gain of 1.
Lancaster doing a nice job there again of staying home on the end around. Brodhead Juda's running a lot of those early in this game, and Lancaster's able to shut that one down and force this 4th and long.
Grayson Arns set to line up and punt it away. Lucas Weber dropping back to the Lancaster 35 to receive the punt. Arn gets a snap. Here's the punt, and it's a spiral punt as Weber fields it at the 36-yard line, shakes away from one defender across the 40, looking to the left sideline, to the 45, to the 50, and out of bounds on the far sideline. Nice return by Lucas Weber, setting the arrows up in Brodhead Juda territory. He's able to bring it out to the 48-yard line in Brodhead Juda territory, and there's an injured Cardinal all the way back to the Lancaster 30, and that's number 5, Braylon Strelo.
You're hoping that's not a too serious of an injury. He was down there on coverage, and looks like it's something to do with his leg. You're hoping it's nothing too serious, because he is a decently big part of Brodhead Juda and what they're trying to do on offense.
Braylon Strelo, a junior, but a two-way player. Lines up as a wingback on offense and is one of the safeties on defense. But Lancaster takes possession with 5:09 to play in the second quarter, leading 21-6. And they will begin this offensive series in Brodhead Juda territory at the 48-yard line off the nice return by Lucas Weber.
Nice return is setting Lancaster up pretty nice to see if they can keep their offense rolling and get another touchdown here before half.
Football tonight brought to you by Rosemeyer Wealth Management. They'll design a plan specific for your retirement goals. The experts at Rosemeyer Management will answer all of your questions. Even if you don't know what questions to ask, check them out on their website at rosemeyermg.com. Shotgun formation for the Arrows. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Ray gets high snap, but a give to Hankey. And Hankey, the turf monster, tackled him in the backfield as stumbled trying to make the cut. Loss of yardage on the play, and the Arrows are back in Brodhead Juda territory at the Brodhead Juda 48.
Yep, I don't think it was the field conditions quite there, but yeah, it just kind of slipped in the backfield, just trying to get around the edge, and loss of 3 or 4 on that play.
Someone didn't fix their divot on the golf course or something. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left as Raggets goes under center. And a quick pass to the far side, caught by Taylor Williams at the 45-yard line. Tried to shake away from one, but a gang tackle made at the 43-yard line in Brodhead, Juda territory. And makes it a much more manageable 3rd down. Should be 3rd and about 5, maybe 6. And they're actually going to put the football back to the 40, just ahead of the 45-yard line. Arrows have to get it across the 38 for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. 2 receivers each side of the formation. Raggets under center, going to pitch it out to Hankey. Hankey with a nice block on the near side across the 40 to the 30, still on his feet at the 20, and still carrying defenders with him almost to the 10-yard line. What a physical run by Nolan Hankey. Racking up those yards on the ground, and a stop in the Biotech green zone for Lancaster with 3:50 to play in the first half. 21-6, Lancaster on top, but the Arrows trying to add another score.
A nice little option play there that allowed Hankey to get to the outside, and once he gets to the outside and has room to run, it's going to be a very hard job to bring him down.
I'll spot it at the 12-yard line, near side hash mark, 3 receivers to the left side, and an option play that was a near disaster as a miscommunication between Hankey and Raggets, but Raggets able to fall on the football and keep the possession for the Arrows. Where again, those penalties, they've been able to hold them to a minimal amount so far tonight, but again, those are just the things that at this point in the season, still not satisfied with what you're seeing so far with those option plays between Raggets and Hankey.
Yeah, the penalties, Lancaster doing a good job. Haven't been penalized yet this game, but yeah, there's just a small minor mental mistakes as the game's going on that they're causing these little fumbles. Is something you want to clean up.
2 to each side of the formation. Raggets dropping back to pass, looking to his right, looking for Taylor Williams, and the pass is just a bit behind him and incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 13 for the Arrows at the 15-yard line of Brodhead, Juda territory. They can get another first down inside the 2-yard line. 2:49 to play in the first half. Lancaster trying to close out the first half strong.
Yep, got to think they got 2 downs here to try to get this first down. I don't think they will kick the field goal if they get stopped here, but got to imagine this is 2-down territory for them.
Yeah, Nettie Chapua has the leg to do it, but I don't think he'd be satisfied with trying to kick a field goal at this point. 3 receivers to the left and a give inside to Hankey, and Hankey with a nice cut and sprints his way into the end zone for Northland Buildings touchdown. Second rushing touchdown of the night for Nolan Hankey. This one from 15 yards out, and Lancaster stretches the lead 27-6 with 2:44 to play in the first half.
Hankey's really starting to get rolling here in the second quarter. He's putting up a heck of a little quarter here and starting to get the yardage.
Nettie Chapua set to kick the extra point. 3 for 3 on extra point attempts tonight. Snap down, hold good, kick is up, end over end, through the uprights, and good once again. Nettie Chapua doubling his extra point count tonight, had 4 extra points coming into the game, and a perfect 4 for 4 tonight, as the Arrows now lead 28-6 with 2:44 to play in the first half on homecoming night. A great crowd here. We can look down from the best seat in the house in the Ears Furniture broadcast booth, and it's just a sea of blue and yellow. And a festive night for the Lancaster Flying Arrows and a strong showing offensively for the Arrows, just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, Lancaster's offense is looking very good here early in this game, minus a few little miscues, but they haven't been detrimental to anything they're trying to do. They've been marching up and down the field so far and have looked very impressive on offense. Defensive also looked very impressive, minus that one big game that Brodhead Juda had there. So if you're Coach Rolland, I think you got to be generally pretty happy with what you've seen so far in this game.
Sorry, Raggets will bring the Lancaster special teams out to the field for the kickoff. Our game tonight brought to you by Les Mack Automotive in Lancaster. Whether it's Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford, you can count on over 50 years of trusted hometown service, because at Les Mack, you always get more from less. And by Point and Flush Sportsman's Club, their guided upland bird and waterfowl hunts with friends and family will create memories that'll last forever. Make your best shot with Point and Flush Sportsman's Club in Potosi. Here's once again fake the kickoff, and now the special teams unit fans out. Cardinals awaiting the return, and here's the ensuing kickoff end over end. And it'll be fielded by Strelo at the 25-yard line. And Strelo with a nice head of steam, but a big-time hit by Toya Raggett saying no thank you, as Nolan Bump was actually the returner that time, and Nolan Bump takes a bump from Toya Raggett as Raggett's serving some Pop-Tarts on that hit, and it will be 1st and 10 for Brodhead Juda with some good field position. They bring it out near the 40-yard line, so 2:39 to go in the half, one timeout in your back pocket, and we'll see what Brodhead Juda comes out with, trying to find some more offensive momentum.
And Raggett's there laid the lumber on that return, and it's a good thing he did, because if he missed that tackle, that might have been a kickoff return for a touchdown for Brodhead Juda.
Nolan bumped the receiver out to the right side of the formation. Everyone else bunched up at the line of scrimmage. Strelo goes in motion from left to right, and a give inside to Brown, and Brown gets across the 40 to about the 42, maybe the 43. We'll call it a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 with 2:27 to play and counting until the McNutt Electric halftime report.
If you're Brodhead Juda, you're trying to bleed some of this clock and get some points here before halftime. You definitely don't want to get a 3 and out here quick. Lancaster's still got some timeouts to use, so if they get a stop here, don't be surprised if Lancaster calls timeout to try to get that ball back before halftime with a little bit more time on the clock.
And Lancaster does receive the second half kickoff as well, so that's something to keep in mind for the Brodhead Juda offense as we hit the 2-minute mark in the first half. 2nd and 8 at the 42-yard line, and a toss play to Grayson Arn, and Arn trying to find some room on the far side of the field, but gets run out of bounds, and the clock will stop with 1:51. And looks like a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Actually, a gain of 1, as they'll put the football at the 43-yard line.
Yep, and Arn went out of bounds there too, so now it's a 3rd and long, and Lancaster was able to save a timeout there, so we'll see what happens here on this 3rd and long. Looks like maybe a timeout.
And Brodhead Juda spending their final timeout with the clock stopped.
Yep, if you're Brodhead Juda, you probably just want to make sure you get a good play call here. It's 3rd and long, and don't want to have a bad play call here and give Lancaster even more time trying to get some positive yardage here and maybe make the 4th down a little bit more manageable if they decide to go for it on 4th down.
And we'll see what the Cardinals draw up. I'll tell you that our game is brought to you by TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Jury and the gang a call. TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville. And by Carver's Hardwood Flooring. For hardwood flooring, stair installation, or refishing needs, call Ryan Carver, the only National Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. And by Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware Do It Best. See Rob Krantz of the crew for full service repair on cars and light trucks too. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware Do It Best in Fenimore. And by Millie's Diner in Dickeyville, where everything is homemade. Open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check them out on Facebook. 3rd down and 8 for Brodhead Juda. One receiver to each side of the formation coming out of the timeout. Krupke dropping back to pass. Going to fire a pass on the far side, and the intended receiver couldn't get to it in time. Incomplete. Pass intended for Nolan Bump on the far side. Good coverage downfield by Brady Schmitz, and it will be 4th down for the Cardinals.
I like the play call there by Brodhead Juda. They kind of did the pump fake and go, and it looked like it had a chance to work in. The quarterback just overthrew the wide receiver there by a little bit. Lancaster DB might have got away with a little bit of a bump there, but hey, nothing too bad there, and we'll see what Brodhead decides to do here on 4th down.
Cardinals lining up to punt it away at least, as Grayson Arn will be set to punt it away, and Lucas Weber standing at the Lancaster 30-yard line to receive it. Arn gets a snap and a high punt. This is a nice high-arching punt as Weber calls fair catch, and he backs up inside their 25-yard line, and Lancaster will set up shop with 1:39 to play in the first half, leading 28-6. And they have to go 88 yards with 2 timeouts in their back pocket.
Yep, Lancaster's got plenty of time here with those 2 timeouts. They've already shown in this game that they can get the big play at times. We'll see if they try to dial one of those up here before halftime.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have the McNutt Electric halftime report. We'll check in on the shoebox scoreboard, and we'll get you the Millie's Diner halftime fix. But the Arrows with 1:39 left in the first half, up 28-6, and out of the shotgun is Toy Raggets faking inside to Hankey. A pump fake, and now a pass down the middle, and the pass is high-pointed and intercepted by Landon Malcook. And Malcook trying to bring it back across the 30, tiptoes the sideline and wrestled down along the Lancaster sideline, shy of the 20-yard line. A big collision at the end there, as Malcook a little slow to get up as a bunch of bodies hit the deck, and it was a great play design, it looked like initially on the play fake, but the ball just hung a little bit up there, and Landon Malcook able to high point it and pick it off and bring it back, and now a golden opportunity for Brodhead Juda to get a score before halftime.
Yeah, it was good play design by Lancaster, but yeah, as you said, the ball just hung up a little bit too long. Lancaster's doing a good job so far in their running game. They're kind of getting a 2-on-1 situation on a lot of these long pass plays where the safety kind of has to choose what receiver he wants to go to. In that instance, the ball just hung up a little bit too long. The safety was able to recover and was able to get that pick and set Brodhead Juda up with nice field position here before halftime to try to get back in this ball game.
So he got knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line. So Brodhead Juda, 1:26. Scoreboard says they have one timeout remaining, but I believe they burned all three of their timeouts.
I think they have one left.
Okay. As I believe Malcook is one still on the ground, and Coach Tim Surjak coming to the Lancaster side to check on his players. There's a bunch of bodies surrounding the player, so it's hard to tell if it is, in fact, Malcook, but when he got knocked out of bounds, there were a lot of arrows standing along the sideline, and
yeah, if that's who it is, he did take a nice big shot there at the end of that play, and hopefully he's all right and is able to bounce back from this, and it's nothing too serious.
Landon Malcook, a junior, starting in the defensive secondary. And while they tend to him, I'll tell you that our game is brought to you by Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montford, and at sloans.com. Baus Electric, call Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Baus Electric, Lancaster, and Fenimore. And it is Malcook, but he gets to his feet and he will jog back to the Brodhead Juda sideline, which is a really positive sign to see. Because again, even when you look at Brodhead Juda as far as the senior leadership on this team, there's only 7 seniors on the team, but there's not a lot of depth on this team either. They're about the short 40s for as far as players overall on the team, and when you have key players like that go out, it gets very, very tough very, very quickly.
Yeah, you're already a young team, and when you have to rely on even younger players to replace some of these injured guys, it makes things very tough.
Krupke dropping back to pass, fires the pass to the far side, and it is caught by Bump, and he's got the right angle into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown. And that is the first touchdown pass of the season for Brodhead Juda. Logan Krupke, first passing touchdown and the first touchdown reception for Nolan Bump. And just like that, 28-12, the new score with 1:19 to play until halftime. So Brodhead Juda cashes in on the Lancaster Dental and Fenimore Smiles turnover, cashes in on a Northland Buildings touchdown, and now they will line up to go for the 2-point conversion.
Brodhead Juda was able to take a shot right after that turnover and score a touchdown and a nice pass play, and good to see they got their first passing touchdown of the year.
2 receivers, 1 to each side of the formation. Krupke dropping back to pass, now rolling to his right, fires over the middle and off the fingertips and incomplete of his intended receiver. I believe that was Brown, the intended receiver, and 2-point conversion is no good. Score remains 28-12 with 1:19 to play until halftime, and once again the Arrows will have the football with 1:19, and they do have 2 timeouts in their back pocket, so they can still put something together, but obviously now needing to respond after surrendering another touchdown in this first half.
Yeah, now you're kind of the iffy part of, do you want to be aggressive and try to get back score and answer that score that Brodhead Juda just had before halftime, or do you take that turnover they had in the last drive and say, hey, let's just get to halftime, make some adjustments, and come out strong in the second half since they will receive the ball?
So a touchdown pass from Logan Krupke to Nolan Bump, the first touchdown pass of the season for Brodhead Juda on the year. Again, this young football team trying to find their footing, and boy, is that something to hang your hat on, especially heading into halftime. And It's a 2-score game.
Yeah, Brodhead Juda's right in this game, and their record might not say it, but they are fighting very hard here tonight, and they're looking about as good as I think I could have thought of when they were coming into this game.
Trayson Fishnick will field the kickoff for Lancaster, and he just goes down to his knees at the 36-yard line. So Lancaster sets up shop at their own 36 with 1:18 to go. 2 timeouts, leading 28-12 on homecoming night. The last offensive play was an INT for Landon Malcook. Brought it back to the Lancaster 21-yard line, and the next play, a 21-yard touchdown strike. Now 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Raggett's under center, and Raggett's going to give inside to Hankey, and Hankey makes a nice cut at the line across the 40 to the 50. Far side field, 40. Sprinting along the sideline. No one's going to catch him. Another Northland Buildings touchdown for Nolan Hankey. A hat trick in the first half for the Arrows.
Yep, able to take that carry right up the middle, and once he got through the middle, he was able to got to the second level and break it outside, and nobody was able to catch him.
64-yard touchdown run for Nolan Hankey, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game, and it's 34-12 Lancaster on top of the 1:07 to play in the first half.
Yeah, that's kind of the quick response you want to see if you're Lancaster there. Maybe would have liked to take a little bit more time off the clock, but you're definitely not going to be too mad about scoring on the first play of a drive.
Snap is down, and the kick is going to be short of the goalpost. No good. Couldn't tell if someone got their hand on it or if it was just a low kick. So the point flush extra point no good for Nettie Chapua, and it's still 34-12. Lancaster leading Brodhead Juda with 1:07 left in the first half. It was a fast-moving first quarter.
And we're starting to see some fireworks here
yeah,
in the second
no
quarter of a lot of scores here. There's 3 touchdowns in the last minute 37 of game time. That's pretty good for a high school football game.
So the last 2 offensive plays for Lancaster, an interception brought back to their 21-yard line. Brodhead Juda instantly scores a touchdown. The next offensive play, a 64-yard touchdown run for Nolan Hankey to make it 34-12. Momentum swings
left and right here.
Yeah, especially here in the second quarter. My goodness, it was 14-0 Lancaster at the end of quarter number 1. And a combined 32 points in this second quarter.
That's probably not the game we were expecting coming into it, being this high scoring and this fast, but this is a nice quarter to see here from both teams here.
Are you not entertained, as they say in the business? Toy Raggett's teeing it up for Lancaster. Here's the run-up and the kick, end over end, and will be fielded on the near side. I believe this is Strelo, and he brings it out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. And 1st and 10 for Brodhead Juda, 1:02. And the question is, how aggressive are you going to be for Brodhead Juda coming off your first touchdown pass of the season?
It'll be interesting to see here. They had a nice that nice 21-yard touchdown pass on their last play. They've also been able to pop off a nice long run for their other touchdown. So we'll see how aggressive they want to be, if they want to attack through the air here and try to keep that momentum going, or if they want to get back to the ground game and try to keep some success going there.
Strelo to the left, Nolan bumped to the right side of the formation as Krupke goes under center on 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Krupke dropping back to pass, and a quick pass to the far side to Grayson Arnn, and Arnn with a head of steam, tiptoeing the sideline and knocked out of bounds near the 45-yard line. And we'll see where they're going to spot the football. Couldn't tell exactly where he stepped out.
I think it's about the 42-yard line, so about a 5-yard gain there. Nice little screen play that they tried to get going there, and Arnn was able to race out to the edge and get out of bounds to save some time on the clock.
Yeah, did a great job luring the Lancaster defenders in. Just ran out of real estate on the far side of the field for Grayson Arnn. 2nd and 6. At the 42-yard line, one receiver to each side of the formation once again. Krupke under center. Krupke dropping back to pass, looking to his left, and has a receiver as that Strela. Strela shakes away from one defender, but a group of Arrows come in to make the tackle as it's number 25 making the tackle for the Arrows. And that's Jackson Seipel. Jackson Seipel has switched numbers depending on if he's got a lineup on the offensive line or not. He usually wears number 60, but wearing number 25 tonight. And it looks like Brodhead Juda has spent that final timeout here with 44 seconds left in the first half. Lancaster up 34-12.
Yeah, Strelo did a nice job of composing himself on that route there. He tried to break to the outside and slipped, but he was able to get back up and was able to bring in that catch for a 5-yard gain to set up about a 3rd and 1 here. We'll see what Brodhead Juda draws up here to try to get this 3rd and short.
97.7 Country, WGLR FM Lancaster. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Tyler Ducanis and Brad Adams with you with the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. 44 seconds left in quarter number 2. Lancaster with a 34-12 lead, and it is 3rd and short.
We think.
For Brodhead Juda, and the chain gang measures it out, and it is, in fact, 3rd and short.
I'm wondering if one of the coaches didn't ask for that to be measured there during that timeout just to see how far they needed to get going there.
Right. And coming out of the Brodhead Juda timeout, the Cardinals come to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and short. One receiver wide to the right side. That's Nolan Bump. Strela goes in motion from the left to the right side, and he catches it in the flat, and he is hit immediately at the line of scrimmage. I think he's got enough for the first down, but not much room after that as a great tackle made on the far side of the field for the Arrows, and it is first down as the Cardinals come to the line of scrimmage quickly. 33 seconds and counting. And Krupke will spike the ball to stop the clock with 30 seconds left till halftime, 2nd and 10.
A nice little quick flat pattern there to get that first down, and they were able to get back up to the line to spike that ball to save 30 seconds here on the clock, and we'll see what they can do here in the remaining time.
Game tonight brought to you by Lancaster Dental Associates and Fenimore Smiles. Get the smile you want and the health you deserve. Learn more at lancdent.com. And by subs.com, fuel your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from a locally owned company. Visit Fenimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations and at subs.com. 2nd and 10 for Brodhead Juda at the 49-yard line. Krupke dropping back to pass, looking to his left, fires the ball downfield, and the pass is incomplete, overshoots the intended receiver, Nolan Hinkey, trying to close in and potentially pick it off. But it will be 3rd and 10 with 25 seconds left until halftime. Lancaster up 34-12.
And Hankey was making a strong break on that ball, just was not able to quite get there. Brodhead Juda is passing the ball quite a bit here, a lot more than I would have expected coming into this game, but they've been pretty successful. I believe they're 7 of 11 so far, and one of those incompletions is that spike play on this drive.
Yeah, Logan Krupke on the season, 35 of 69 passing, so not a lot of passing attempts, about 10 per game coming into this one. 3rd and 10, Krupke dropping back to pass again, looking to his left, pump fakes, now heaves it down to the near sideline, and the ball is through the hands of number 2, Brady Schmitz of Lancaster, nearly coming away with the pick. Clock is stopped with 19 seconds.
Holding on Brodhead Juda will bring it back.
Although Lancaster would probably decline the penalty since it's 4th down.
Which is exactly what they did.
So the Arrows declined the Pinks penalty, and Brodhead Juda likely to punt it away, one would think. I've been wrong on this stuff before this season, so.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they just try to go for it here and see what happens. They
really got nothing.
They got really nothing to lose here. If they are able to get a big play here and score in these last 19 seconds, they're right back in this game heading into halftime, pretty proud of themselves, and changes that dynamic of the game. But we'll see if they try to do the safe route here and punt it away.
Yeah, Grayson Arnn is lining up to punt, and Lucas Weber backing up to the Lancaster 20-yard line to receive the punt. Arm with the snap and a straight sky-high punt and takes a bounce. And I think the punt only went maybe 3 yards. It was punted sky-high straight up and took a bounce and took a very favorable bounce for Lancaster.
We'll give them a 6-yard punt on that one. It's not quite what you're looking for. They might have been a little bit better off trying to go for it there, but hey, live and learn.
Grayson Arndt hasn't had a bad night punting either. He's gotten some nice punts off, but that one just got under it a little too much.
So he's a nice little punter. He definitely gets a lot of airtime on his punts, and that one just seemed to come off his foot a little bit more different and just kind of went more straight up than distance-wise.
Out of the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right side for the Arrows. Reagan's dropping back to pass. He's going to heave one down the middle looking for Williams, and that one in and out of the hands of the defender that time as Nolan Bump in on the coverage, able to knock it down, and 1.3 seconds left until halftime. Lancaster can get another play in from their own 45-yard line.
Lancaster's not shy to take some shots downfield in this game. We've seen plenty of them so far, and we'll see if they take another one here before halftime or if they're content to just kind of run this last second off the clock. But they've also shown they can break a run off.
Right, exactly.
Too, so
yeah, Lancaster's been able to score almost every different way in this first half. Offensively, we should say at least. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Out of the shotgun, Raggets rolling to his right, pump fakes, trying to escape one defender, but he is thrown to the ground. A Subs.com sack for Logan Brzezinski, and that'll be the final play of the first half. And at halftime in Lancaster's homecoming game, the Arrows have a 34-12 lead on the Brodhead Juda Cardinals. Coming up next, our McNutt Electric halftime report. We'll check in on the shoebox scoreboard, recap the stats here from the first half, and we'll get you the Millie's Diner halftime fix. That's all straight ahead here on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Halftime, 3 minutes.
At Grant Regional Community Clinic, we believe the best care begins with listening. Our providers are here for your whole family, whether it's a yearly checkup, managing your health, or welcoming your newest little one. From primary care to obstetrics, you'll find compassionate providers who take the time to know you and care for you like family. Grant Regional Community Clinics, with locations in Lancaster, Fenimore, Cassville, and Potosi. Better health starts here.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors, combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien.
Southwest Tech is excited to announce a new precision agronomy program designed to equip students with cutting-edge skills in agricultural technology, crop management, and data-driven decision-making. This innovative program combines classroom instruction with hands-on experience on their newly acquired 80 acres of cropland. Graduates of the precision agronomy program have a variety of career paths within Wisconsin's robust ag sector. Don't wait. Take the next step today. Learn more and apply for the precision agronomy program now at swtc.edu.
Avercamp Auto Body in Platteville is a proud sponsor of 97.7 Country WGLR's Farm Calendar. Email your egg events to Bob Mittendorf at WGLR.com. The Farm Calendar airs weekdays at 6:35 a.m. This message is brought to you by Avercamp Auto Body in Platteville, celebrating 11 years in business. Our experienced staff will keep your vehicle in top condition. We use top quality parts to provide a high quality repair and quick turnaround time. Bringing your new car, older car, foreign or domestic vehicle to Avercamp Auto Body in Platteville today.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Halftime, 3 minutes.
34-12 at halftime. Lancaster leading Brodhead Juda on our feature matchup on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Our YouTube stream powered by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. Tyler Dictanis and Brad Adams with the best seat in the house in the Ears Furniture broadcast booth. A very fun and high-scoring first half. Let's recap what we saw through the first half of play. Lancaster won the toss and deferred to the second half, so the arrows will receive to begin the second half. Brodhead Juda went 3 and out on their first drive, and Lancaster answered with a touchdown. 3 plays later, a 41-yard touchdown strike from Toy Raggets to Dane Kaufman. The Nettie Chipua extra point was good. 7-0 Lancaster leading with 7:05 to play in the first quarter. Brodhead Juda would go 3 and out once again, and Lancaster would respond with a 5-play drive. A Taylor Williams touchdown catch from Toy Raggets from 46 yards out made the score 14-0, and that was our score as we headed into the second quarter. On the drive that bridged the first and second quarters, Brodhead Juda cashed in on a 9-play drive on a 44-yard touchdown run by Jaden Brown to make it 14-6 after the 2-point conversion was no good. Lancaster would then respond with an 8-play drive of their own. A Nolan Hankey 1-yard touchdown run made it 21-6 after the Nettie Chipua extra point. Brodhead Juda would punt it away after 3 plays, and then Lancaster would score once again. Nolan Hankey on a 15-yard touchdown run, capping off a 6-play drive. Extra point was good. 28-6 was the score with 2:39 left in the second quarter. Brodhead Juda would then punt it away on their next drive. Lancaster on the first play of that drive with 1:39, an interception thrown by Toy Raggets as Landon Malcook brought it back to the Lancaster 21-yard line. And the very next play for Brodhead Juda, Logan Krupke finds Nolan Bump for a 21-yard touchdown strike in the right corner of the end zone for the first touchdown pass of the season for the Brodhead Juda Cardinals. The 2-point conversion was no good. 28-12 was the score with 1:18 left to play in the first half. The first play on the next drive for Lancaster, Nolan Hankey scampers for 64 yards, finding the end zone. The extra point was no good. 34-12 was the score. Brodhead Juda and Lancaster would exchange possessions to end the half. 32 combined points in that second quarter there, Brad Adams, as you know, we thought Lancaster jumped out to a strong start and kind of felt like they were going to have their foot on the gas, but Brodhead Juda with some positive things in that second quarter to kind of change the dynamic of this game a little bit.
If you're both teams there, I think you're pretty happy with how the game has gone so far. Brodhead Juda's shown some progress of what they're trying to do offensively, have been able to get some big plays on offense. And if you're Lancaster, you kind of controlled the game throughout this game, and every time it seems like Brodhead Juda's got a little bit of momentum to try to get back into this game. Lancaster's right there for the quick answer. But really, Lancaster's defense has not been playing well. They've been, unofficially stats here, they were able to hold Brodhead Juda to 115 yards in the first half. 65 of those came on 2 plays.
Right.
So their defense is doing a very good job of staying home. For Brodhead Juda, you got Brown leads the way for them with 8 carries for 57 yards, and Arn has 5 carries for 8 yards. Krupke's actually 7 of 11 passing for 50 yards, so they're passing a little bit more. So far in the first half, like we said, he came into the game averaging about 10 passes a game, and they've already eclipsed that. So
right.
They're having some success passing the ball. And then, if you're Lancaster, they've had one very sustained drive, and otherwise a lot of them have been quick hitters. You got Toy Raggets with 7 carries for 18 yards in the first half, so he's kind of been held in check in the run game. But then you got Nolan Hankey with 9 carries for 126 yards. He really got going there in the second quarter. I think he got think 123 of those yards came in the second quarter, so that second quarter was really big for Hankey. Toy Raggets is also 5 of 10 passing for 130 yards. Then you got Taylor Williams with 2 catches, 52 yards and a touchdown, and Aiden Wilson for 1 catch for 41 yards and another touchdown. And with Kaufman, Krubel, and Hankey each having 1 reception each.
All right, this is our McNutt Electric halftime report. For all of your electrical needs, call McNutt Electric in Belmont. Let's talk about the Millie's Diner halftime fix, brought to you by Millie's Diner in Dickeyville. Step in and see what they're fixing for you. For Lancaster, I mean, offensively, you have to like what you've seen so far, minus the interception from Toy Raggets and a few pressures that, kind of disrupted some of the things that he's done. For Lancaster, they've been penalty-free. They've had a couple, close calls as far as fumbles go on exchanges between Raggets and Hankey in the backfield. But outside of that, I think you have to be somewhat satisfied with how the Lancaster offense has been going. And as you kind of alluded to defensively, besides a couple big plays and, easy field position, that led to easy scores for Brodhead Juda. So you have to like what the defense has done, minus those 2 plays.
Yeah, if you're Lancaster, you got to be pretty happy with what you're seeing. As you said, there's a few mental mistakes and kind of just things that, as we get farther on in the season, if we get to the postseason, these things can be a very big detriment to what you're trying to do. And you'd like to see those get cleaned up. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make here in the second half, what kind of stuff they can learn from some of these mental mistakes, hope to get those cleaned up. And, yeah, if you're Lancaster's defense, just kind of stay disciplined and stay in your lanes and make sure that Brodhead Juda can't get to the outside like they're trying to do, and just kind of minimize the big plays. If you take away those big plays, we've got a whole different story to tell here at halftime. So if you're Lancaster, just tighten up on a few minor details and you're sitting in a nice spot.
Yeah, but for Brodhead Juda, they have to like some of the things that happened in the second quarter. It kind of felt like the game could be getting away from them, but that touchdown to make it a 1-score game and then a quick touchdown towards the tail end of the second quarter as well. Granted, Lancaster's going to receive the second half kickoff, so the defense has to come up with something to keep them in it. But, for Brodhead Juda offensively, for some of the things that they've been trying to work on as the season has gone along, finding a little bit of success, and that's got to be a confidence builder for this Cardinals team that's very young and, trying to find their identity a little bit.
If you're Brodhead Juda, I think you got to be very happy with what you saw in the first half. They've been pretty successful in the passing game. Their running game, not as successful, but they're at least able to get some big plays. They had that 44-yard long touchdown run, and I think you got to be pretty happy with what you're seeing. They are penalized, but you kind of might expect that from a young team like Brodhead Juda is. But yeah, I think your takeaways from the first half are these are building blocks for not only the rest of this year but next year, and to get the program right back on track. And we'll see what happens here in the second half.
Yeah, we'll see what the second half has in store. 34-12, Lancaster leading Brodhead Juda at the half. Lancaster set to receive the second half kickoff. Our game tonight brought to you by Donnie's Tire and Auto. Call the only hooker in town for 24-hour towing service at 568-3014. That's 568-3014. Your home for excellent car care is at Donnie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville. Also by Gary's Pest Control. Gary's Pest Control salutes our local athletes. Gary's Pest Control with over 40 years of professional, friendly service. Picks Automotive in Lancaster and Greeny's Garage in Platteville. They have the certified technicians, equipment, and experience to keep your vehicle in top running condition. And by People's State Bank for personal, home, business, and ag loans. Visit one of their area convenient locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. We'll take another timeout. We'll check in on the Shoebox scoreboard. Some other games on our Queen Bee Radio family of stations around the area. We'll check in on those, and we'll get you the second half kickoff as our McNutt Electric halftime report continues after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 6.
Hello, Ben here from Darlington Family Dental. Your smile is as important to us as it is to you. Give us a call and schedule a consultation to figure out if clear aligners might be right for you. The consultation is free. Zero interest financing is available. This solution for your smile might be more cost-effective than you think. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
In Game 6.
McNutt Electric halftime report continues on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our halftime score at Lancaster on homecoming night. The Arrows leading Brodhead Juda 34-12. Let's do a check on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. I can assure you that alarm is not on our airwaves right now. This is part of the dance routine here at Lancaster at the half. Oh, man. That made me jump for just a second. Like, are we really anticipating weather? It was supposed to be clear, but here's some very interesting scores on our Shoebox scoreboard, Brad. Let's check these out. In the third quarter, DeSoto leads Belmont 29-14. That on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Halftime, Iowa Grant leading River Ridge 20-16. At the half in Darlington, shutting out Lodi 31-0. In Platteville, River Valley leading the Hillman 14-7. That's on X1071 and X1071.com. Fenimore leads Cuba City at the half 21-0. Richland Center with a touchdown lead on Dodgeville 21-14. And at the half, Prairie du Chien 20, New Glarus 14.
Oh, wow.
And on Super Hits 106 on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, the big matchup in the Six Rivers, Potosi Cassville 13, Seneca Wazeeka Steuben 13.
Well, that's about the score I was kind of anticipating out of that game. You knew that game was going to be a dogfight going into with two top-ranked teams there. The Darlington score against Lodi, that's kind of surprising. Lodi, I think, is number 9 in D5, I think. Darlington's, of course, ranked 3 in D6 still, I think. We had the pleasure of watching them last week, and they looked very good, and they're continuing their ways, it seems like. It seems like there's some interesting scores happening around in this area.
Yeah, a lot of eyebrow-raising scores here, and I think to a degree this score may be a bit eyebrow-raising as well, just kind of given the way that second quarter, when Lancaster was leading 14-0, you kind of expected that, but then the offensive fireworks kind of broke out as Brodhead Juda finding some offensive success, and Lancaster set to receive the second half kickoff here in just a few moments, and man, oh man, what a wild week number 7. It's been a very weird high school football season, I think, this year. A lot of unexpected things. I still don't really have a read on the SWC, which teams are good and which teams aren't. We know River Valley and New Glarus obviously at the top of the conference, but Lancaster, as we mentioned, 10 points away from being undefeated and 6-0, being looked at as one of the top teams in the state. They're also 4 points away from being 1-5 and, looking at the bottom of the conference.
Yeah, they are one of those teams that is very tricky to figure out. Like you said, a few more breaks go their way, they'd be highly ranked, and nobody wants to face them come playoff time. If a few breaks go the other way, they're near the bottom of the standings, and you're kind of hoping to get some positive things going for the next year. But Lancaster's looking very tough right now, and if they make the playoffs, they're going to be a very tough out for whoever has to play them in that first round. And if you're just tuning in, the score of 34-12 might be a little bit of a shock, but Lancaster's kind of dominated this game.
Right.
Brodhead Juda's had 2 big plays that they've scored their points off. Other than that, they haven't been too successful. So if you're Lancaster, you got to be pretty happy with what you've seen. And Brodhead Juda, if you got to try to capitalize on some of those big plays and keep that momentum going.
And once again, Lancaster will receive the second half kickoff, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Our game tonight brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at MountainCityBank.com. My rural mutual agents, John Raggets and Deneen Dahl with the Raggets & Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them at their office in Lancaster. And by Northland Buildings, for a quality Northland building built tough for the Northland, contact Joe Ryder, your local expert in quality Northland post-frame buildings. Also by Cole Acres Golf and Grill in Cuba City and at coleacresgolfandgrill.com. The Highland State Bank of Highland and at highlandstatebank.net. WCC Brands Custom Apparel in Kieler and at wcc-brands.com. Breckler Insurance Group for all of your insurance needs. See Steve Landusky at Breckler Insurance in Fenimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. And by McNett Electric in Belmont, they can assist with all of your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call and ready to help with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. And that wraps up our McNett Electric halftime report. Second half kickoff coming up in just a few moments. Tyler Dictanis and Brad Adams with the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Always fun calling games here at Lancaster High School. The great accommodations and another great night for high school football. It is hot here in Lancaster. Feels more like mid-August than it does early October. I'll definitely take the weather. I'll take the heat more so than the cold at this point in the season. But, we've been pretty spoiled with the weather outside of the lightning delay that we had a couple weeks ago and things like that. But, boy, the season feels like it's just getting started because the weather's been so hot. It's hard to believe that we'll have 2 weeks left after tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we're in week 7 already, and yeah, it feels like August weather out here. But yeah, I'd rather be sweating a little bit than freezing my butt off here. So yeah. I'll gladly take it, and yeah, nice being here at Lancaster. They got a nice setup for us, and especially homecoming night, seeing the band do their performances and the dance/cheer team there at halftime did a good job, and a nice big crowd from here tonight.
And in addition to what we got tonight, we've got more football coming up tomorrow on our Queen Bee Radio family of stations. Of course, the Badgers taking on Michigan at the Big House. Kickoff at 11 o'clock right here on 97.7 Country WGLR. We also have Highland hosting their homecoming game, the 150th anniversary of Highland Community Schools, celebrating that event, hosting one of the top teams in the state in 8-player football. North Crawford will have that game at 2 o'clock on X1071 on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And oh, by the way, the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Cubs in the NLDS on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. Catch the Brewers and Cubs series on AM 1590 WPVL during this postseason run.
Unfortunately, you might have to tune out to the end of the Badgers game to hear the beginning of the Brewers game, but that might not be the worst possible thing.
Yeah, I suspect with the Badgers, this is what I'm going to say, they'll be deceptively good for the first 3.5 quarters, and then everything falls apart. That's what it feels like it's going to be for me. They'll start off strong, and then they will collapse.
I would take 3.5 good quarters of Badger football right now.
Right.
I would consider that a win.
Nolan Hinkey returning the second half kickoff, brings it to the 40-yard line, still on his feet, trying to break away from one defender, and finally wrestled to the ground across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. An excellent return by Nolan Hinkey. 1st and 10 for the Arrows. 11:50 to play in the third quarter. Lancaster up 34-12.
A nice return there. Hankey was able to lay the lumber a little bit to one of the defenders there and knocked him down and was able to get a few more yards after that to bring it out to about the 45-ish yard line. We'll see what Lancaster does here to start the second half.
Lancaster working from left to right as we see it from the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth and as you see it on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. So his forward progress was stopped at the 45-yard line. Another shotgun look for Toy Raggets and a Pinks penalty flag before the first play. False start on the Arrows. Back him up 5 to the 40.
Lancaster's first penalty of the game. It's not something you really want to see. First play coming out of halftime. Hoping to be a little bit more disciplined here.
Game tonight brought to you by Community First Bank. Free in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com. Member FDIC. First and 15 after the Pinks penalty. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Ray gets out of the shotgun again, and a pitch play to Hankey on the right side. Hankey gets across the 40 to the 50, across the 40 again, along the sideline, and a last-second tackle made near the 30-yard line by Brodhead Juda, as that was number 9, Wyatt Kieser, hitting him at the ankles and knocking him out of bounds. And a 1st and 10 for the Lancaster Flying Arrows, a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down at the Brodhead Juda 30-yard line.
And Lancaster getting right back up to the line to hurry up this offense. We'll see what they do here.
Trips left, 1 receiver to the right, and looking left is Raggets, and he's got an open man, and that's Krubel. And Krubel has the first down And looks like he's inside the 20-yard line, which means it's another stop in the Bitech green zone for the Lancaster Flying Arrows, and the Arrows continuing the offensive onslaught both through the air and on the ground.
And Lancaster's getting what they want on offense right now. They've had a lot of success on that option play between Regetz and Hankey coming towards us out to their right. Hankey's been able to break a few big runs off that play.
One receiver to the right, two to the left, or three to the left, I should say. As Regetz is under center, and a give inside to Hankey, and Hankey is met at the line of scrimmage by number 14, Jaden Brown. And it will be second down and about 8 yards to go. I think he got to the 17-yard line. Just a gain of 2 on that play for Nolan Hankey. Now the Arrows come out with 3 receivers to the right side. Regetz under center, Hankey in a 3-point stance. And Regetz dropping back to pass, looking to his right. Pump fakes, now rolling right, fires over the middle, pass is caught in the back of the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown. All hail to the homecoming king, Aiden Wilson, with another touchdown reception.
Oh, we got a penalty on the play.
Is it going to count?
Does not look like it. Must have been a hold.
That was a really awesome call, I would say, too.
Yeah, you nailed that one, Tyler. Brodhead Juda did a really good job of not allowing the play to develop as they want. It was kind of a backyard play that Lancaster had to commit there and was able to get this touchdown on it, but unfortunately a hold brings it back.
Hate wasting those exciting calls like that. My goodness. All that work for nothing. Second down. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Regetz dropping back to pass. Fires over the middle again. How about we do it again? Aiden Wilson. And he is down short of the goal line. It is a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down, and it will be first and goal for the Arrows. Right at the 1-yard line, I believe.
Yeah, but I think he's marked down at the 1 there. Who knows, Tyler? They might give you another chance here to make another great call.
Third time's a charm, I think. Aiden Wilson is lined up wide to the left side. We'll see if they target him again as Regetz under center, and he'll give inside. But the ball is loose on the turf. And now Brodhead Juda says they have the ball, and it's a touchback. They say 2-point conversion, but no,
yeah,
it's a touchback.
Yeah, I don't think that was a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
I think that was first and goal. And yeah, it looks like Brodhead Juda recovered a fumble. He'll take over at the 20-yard line.
So the Cardinals turn the Arrows away. An Aiden Wilson touchdown wiped off by a Pinks penalty. And now Brodhead Juda takes possession with 9:56 to play in the third quarter at their own 20-yard line. And again, those are the mistakes that Coach Rollin has been talking about all season long. It's the little self-inflicted mistakes that come back, and a pair of mistakes lead to a Lancaster turnover.
Yep, these little mistakes can come back and haunt you, and we'll see what happens here. But Lancaster's definitely not putting Brodhead Juda away here. They're definitely keeping him in the game and keeping their hopes up here.
One receiver wide to the right side. Krupke under center, and a give to the deep back, and running back has nowhere to go. A loss of 1 on the play. There's a lot of pre-snap movement for Brodhead Juda. It's kind of hard to tell on these option plays who's carrying the ball, and couldn't see who the ball carrier was that time, but they get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 20.
I'm not really sure who got the carry there. I'm going to give it to Arn just for my stats, but
right.
That's why my stats are unofficial.
And to be clear, it is the best seat in the house. It's just sometimes the numbers are a little hard to read from this angle, especially when they're deep on each side of the field. 2 receivers out to the left side, and 2 backs in the backfield for Krupke on 2nd and 10. Krupke with a snap and a give to the deep back, and this one's Brown, and Brown makes a nice cut at the line, but there's 4 Arrows there to make the tackle. Braden Lenz, one of the First one's there to make the hit, and it'll be 3rd and long for Brodhead Juda. 8:53 and counting in the third quarter. Lancaster up 34-12.
Yeah, Brown's a tough running back to bring down, so it's good to see the Lancaster swarming him and bringing him down with multiple guys. Kind of set up this 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6-ish. We'll see what Brodhead Juda dials up here.
Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. 2 receivers left, 2 backs in the backfield for Krupke on 3rd and 10. And a quick pass to the near side, and it's caught by Nolan Bump. Makes a nice cut near the 30-yard line, and I believe he's got enough for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. And he does move the sticks. 1st and 10 for Brodhead Juda. Looks like he brought it out to the 32-yard line. Nice catch and run.
Yep, nice little pattern there. He was able to get about 8-ish yards there, move the chains. But Brodhead Juda has really impressed me with their passing game so far. I was not expecting to see this coming into tonight.
Tonight's game brought to you by Claire Bank with the 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Braden Strelo, the receiver, wide to the right side of the formation. Nolan Bump to the left. Logan Krupke under center, and he will give inside. And breaking away is Jaden Brown, but a last-second tackle made by Nolan Hankey to prevent the breakaway touchdown run. Ball is in Lancaster territory at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10, and another Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for Brodhead Juda, and they bring the football back to the Lancaster 45-yard line.
Yeah, nice little opening up the gut there. Kind of looked somewhat similar to their touchdown earlier in the game. Lancaster was luckily able to catch him and bring him down about the 45-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Cardinals in Lancaster territory. Ball spotted right in the middle of the field. 1 receiver to each side of the formation. 2 backs in the backfield. Krupke ducking under center. Krupke takes a snap and another give inside to Brown. And Brown trying to turn those legs with the Lancaster defense. Jumps in and makes the stop. As Trayson Fishnick in on the tackle. And it will be 2nd down and about 8 to go. Call it a gain of 2 as the ball is at the 43-yard line.
Yep, Lancaster able to shut that play down. Tried to run Brown right up the gut again, and that time Lancaster did a better job of limiting the space up the middle for an alley for Brown to get through.
Cardinals come to the line of scrimmage, 7-10 in the third quarter, 34-12. Lancaster on top. 2 receivers in the backfield once again. A receiver wide to the right side. Strelo is lined up as a wingback on the left. And Krupke going to give to the deep back and gets to the 41-yard line. Carrier that time is number 2, Grayson Arn, who coming into the game has the most rushing yards with 655 coming into the matchup and 5 rushing touchdowns, but he's really been held in check so far tonight.
Yeah, he has not had a lot of open daylight. I got him for 7 carries so far for only 10 yards, so Lancaster doing a good job of keeping him in check.
3rd and 6 coming up for Brodhead Juda with 6:30 to go and counting in the third quarter. Lancaster up 34-12. Brodhead Juda trying to continue the drive on play number 7. 1 receiver to each side of the formation. Krupke dropping back to pass, looking to his right, fires a pass, and it is caught on the far side. But Lucas Weber there to make the tackle right at the first down marker, and we'll see if they give him the first down. I don't think he got there, but the official right there says move the sticks, 1st and 10 for Brodhead Juda. A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for the Cardinals. The drive continues on. Play number 8 coming up.
Got about right to the sticks there. If you got the first down, but it couldn't have been by much because, that looked pretty close.
Thought Lucas Weber got there right before the stick, but forward progress says it's the first down for Brodhead Juda. 1 receiver to each side on 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And another give inside. I believe Brown the ball carrier again, and he's able to surge forward close to the 30. Gain of at least 4, maybe 5, and 2nd and medium coming up for Brodhead Juda. Again, another one of those sustained drives for Brodhead Juda, which again, it's kind of a balancing act for Brodhead Juda. You want to be effective and put it in the end zone, but you also want to move a little bit more aggressively to get it in the end zone and try and get back into the game.
Yeah, if you're Brodhead Juda, you're happy with what's happening right now. You're able to get on the sustained drive. But yeah, you're down 3 scores right now, so at least 3 scores. So yeah, you'd like to maybe have it a little little faster, but if you're being such a young team, you're happy with what they're doing right now.
5 minutes to play in the third quarter on 2nd and 6. And a breakaway over the middle and into the end zone. Another rushing touchdown for Jaden Brown. Jaden Brown with the Northland Buildings touchdown, his second rushing touchdown of the game from 31 yards out. And it's 34-18. Lancaster leading Brodhead Juda. And the Cardinals will line up for the 2-point conversion to try and make it a 14-point game.
Yep, and this is where those little mistakes that Lancaster's had throughout this game can come back and haunt them. Lancaster's right on the doorstep at the 1-yard line, fumbled it away, and Brodhead Juda was able to turn that around and capitalize and get right back in this game with his touchdown.
And Jaden Brown just up the gut over the middle and just able to break away. He's got some breakaway speed for big fullback as the 2-point conversion, another give inside, but the ball carrier short of the goal line. That's Jaden Brown, and the 2-point conversion is no good. So the score remains 34-18. Lancaster leading Brodhead Juda. We'll take a timeout. We'll bring you the ensuing kickoff after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 7.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien. Trade out and trade up with the Gia Milking Performance promotion at Fuller's Milker Center. For a limited time, trade out your old milking units and liners and immediately benefit by trading up to a better milking performance at substantial savings. Choose from the Gia IQ milking unit or the classic 300E milking unit, both available with a GQ liner package. Plus, save if you need to swap jetter cups too. Contact Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your Gia dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center to find out how you can save big trading out and trading up on new Gia milking equipment technology.
In Game 7.
Ensuing kickoff for Brodhead Juda. Jaden Clark gets the kick away, and Hankey will bring it out to the 35, still on his feet, to the 40-yard line, trying to spin away from a couple defenders, still on his feet at the 45, before finally being taken down shy of the 50-yard line. Excellent second, third, fourth effort there by Nolan Hankey. 1st and 10 for the Arrows, and it will be at the 45-yard line is where the officials will mark it.
And Hankey showing why he's one of the tougher running backs to bring down in this area of the state, and pretty sure he carried defenders there for at least the last 7 yards of that return.
Some shoebox scoreboard updates we'll tell you about. At the end of the third quarter, Potosi Cassville 19, Seneca Wazeeka Steuben 19.
That one's going to come down to the wire.
That one on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our score here, 34-18. Lancaster in the lead. Arrows in possession of the ball. 2 receiver seat side of the formation with Toy Raggets out of the shotgun. Raggets looking to the right side. Pass will be caught by Hankey at the 50-yard line. A Pink's penalty flag in the backfield. And Hankey losing his footing at the Brodhead Juda 35-yard line, but we'll check the penalty. It looks like it's in the area of holding.
Yep, hold on Lancaster. We'll bring it back.
So another big play wiped away by a Pink's penalty flag for the Arrows in the second half. They had a touchdown pass to Aiden Wilson in the back of the end zone on their last drive, but the Pink's penalty wiped away the play, and then the Arrows fumbled the football at the goal line. That gave Brodhead Juda a touchback, and they were able to cash in 80 yards on 9 plays and a Jaden Brown 31-yard touchdown scamper.
Yep, Lancaster did a good job of minimizing the penalties in the first half. They didn't have any, but so far in the third quarter they've already got 3, and one of them wiped away a big touchdown.
And now a Pink's penalty flag offsides on Brodhead Juda, so move the ball up 5 yards after the 10-yard penalty on the previous play. So it is now 1st and 15.
That's the 5th penalty on Brodhead Juda, and yeah, definitely not something you want to do when you are given some yardage while you're on defense to give it right back. We'll see if they can recover.
And the clock continuing to run as well. We're at 4:10 left in the third quarter. Toy Raggets now under center, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Gribble and Coffin to the right side. It looks like it's Wilson and Williams on the left. Ragged's going to pitch it out to Hankey on the near side. Hankey looking for some room, tiptoeing the sideline 50. Now at the sideline, across the 40, and finally knocked out of bounds near the 35-yard line. Nolan Hankey once again, the workhorse running back, doing work off the pitch play, finding some room on the outside. A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for the Arrows at the Brodhead Juda. Ball just across the 35-yard line.
Yep, nice 24-yard run there by Hankey. Was able to get out to the outside again where he's had some success here in the second and third quarter.
Arrows go to the line of scrimmage quickly, and a quick pass to the far side. Taylor Williams with a catch at the 35-yard line, and he sprints up the field across the 20, along the sideline, and knocked out of bounds at the last moment by Strelo before the 10-yard line. Another stop in the Bitech green zone for the Arrows, and the Arrows offense going quick and fast and in a hurry.
Well, Lancaster's looking to answer back quickly to that last score by Brodhead Juda. We'll see if they can tighten it up here in the red zone and put this one in the end zone.
I was at the 14-yard line, called a gain of 21 on the last play. 2 receivers to each side of the formation, or beg your pardon, 3 to the right side, 1 to the left. Raggets under center. And Raggets will give to Hankey, and Hankey stumbles at the line and finally swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And looks like it was number 44, Wyatt Anderson, on the tackle. And it will be second down coming up for Lancaster, 3:23 and counting in the third quarter. Lancaster up 34-18 on Brodhead Juda. And it will be second down and about 9 yards to go. Raggets with a quick pass to the near side for Dane Kaufman. Kaufman with a nice cut at the 15-yard line. Gets to the 10, spins away from 1, but can't escape the other 2 Cardinals as they flock to the near sideline. And it will be third down coming up for the Arrows. Clock is stopped with 2, or clock continues to run, as I should say, as we are under 2:50 to play in the third quarter.
Looks like Kaufman was able to get maybe 1 yard, maybe back. I'm going to give him 1, but maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That was a lot of work just to get back to the line of scrimmage, though.
Yeah, but it's at the 15-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. 3rd and 10 for the Arrows. And a give inside to Hankey, and Hankey gets inside the 10 and wrestled down at the 9, so a gain of 6 on the play. And it will be 4th down for the Arrows, and I would imagine they're going to line up and go for this one. I don't know if you want Nettie Chapua kicking from the right hash mark, and you've had some success moving the football on this drive. I would imagine they've got a quick hitter or something that they can go to in this 4th and short situation.
Yeah, I would think they would go for it here, and it looks like they are. We'll see what they dial up with it. Maybe a quick pass, or they'll try to get Hankey going again.
4th and 5 for the Arrows. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Raggets under center. Pops up, now ducks back down, and a timeout taken by Lancaster, their first timeout of the second half, with 1:43 left in the third quarter, 34-18. Arrows are on top. It'll give us a chance to tell you that our game is brought to you by Herms's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Herms's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Herms's for the perfect paint for your next project. Herms's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. And my Russell office is here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law offices. By Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist, the pros at Brian's gets the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. Fourth and 5 for the Arrows coming out of the timeout. Ball spotted at the 10-yard line. Obviously, get the ball inside the 5-yard line for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. And they come to the line of scrimmage with 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Raggets will duck under center. Nolan Hankey in a 3-point stance right behind him. Raggets with a quick fade pass to the corner of the end zone. It is caught, but a Pink's penalty flag and a false start on the Arrows again.
And again, these small mistakes by Lancaster here are starting to eat away at them a little bit, and they're keeping Brodhead Juda in this game, making this 4th down a 4th and 10. We'll see if Coach Ron decides to keep his offense out there and go for it still, or if which I would think, but field goal would be a possibility as well, but I think they're going to go for it.
happening so close to the goal line, too. It's these possessions inside the red zone, or the green zone, I should say, that are costing him. Now it's 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, and Hankey now out wide to the left, so an empty backfield for Toy Raggets out of the shotgun, and Raggets will fire over the middle. Taylor Williams out of his hands and incomplete. So Lancaster turns it over on downs, and Brodhead Juda takes over at their own 15-yard line with 1:38 to play, 34-18, Lancaster on top. Brodhead Juda went 80 yards on their last drive, put it in the end zone, and now the Lancaster defense has to stand tall once again.
Yep, Brodhead Juda will try to have a drive like they did last time here and continue to cut into this lead. If you're Lancaster's defense, you want to minimize the big plays. Brodhead Juda had quite a few big runs on that last drive. If you can get those, they still look pretty good. But, yeah, the Lancaster offense, they're getting what they want. But, yeah, then they get down into the green zone there and they just aren't able to come out with points on these last 2 drives.
1st and 10, Brodhead Juda at their own 15-yard line after Lancaster turns it over on downs. 1 receiver wide to the right side. Strelo going in motion from left to right. And a give inside to Brown as they try to fake the end around, but Brown just surges forward, gets it across the 20 to maybe the 21-yard line. Nice chunk run there by Jaden Brown, who's scored 2 rushing touchdowns on the game, just running it up the gut, similar to that previous play there. But great job by the Lancaster defense to hold the game to a minimum.
Yeah, he was able to get a 6-yard gain there up the middle. And, yeah, if Lancaster can get that figured back out like they did early in the game, they'll be sitting nicely. But, yeah, Brown's been able to rip off a couple long runs here up the gut.
Now under a minute to play in the third quarter. Again, Lancaster leading 34-18. Brodhead Juda, second play of this drive at their own 21-yard line, near side hash mark. 1 receiver out to the right side. Krupke fakes it, rolling to his right, escapes 1 defender, still on his feet, but can't escape the second. We'll call that a Subs.com sack. As trying to see which Lancaster defender made the tackle. I believe that was Nolan Hankey, so credit Nolan Hankey with a Subs.com sack. He's officially submitted himself as our Hermson's Ace Hardware MVP of the game.
He's all over the field so far. Looks like Brodhead Juda might be okay with taking this to the end of the third quarter here.
Yeah, and also another thing to keep in mind, this could be the last home game for Lancaster this season, depending on how their fortunes go in the final 3 or the final 2 games after this. And now Brodhead Juda calling a timeout with 6.3 seconds left in the third quarter.
See, what do I know? I thought maybe they'd be happy to take it to the end of the third. They want to get another play in, so we'll see what they dial up here to see if they can get a quick hitter and maybe give themselves a little bit more time if they're able to score on this drive to try to complete this comeback.
Well, all their scoring has been from going from right to left on the field from our vantage point, so try to squeeze in one more play. Maybe you hope for some good luck.
Yeah, maybe this is their good luck charms going this way and want to squeeze one more play in here.
But yeah, we saw this last week too in the Darlington Fenimore game where Fenimore called a timeout.
I think down big at like 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Yeah. That is why I'm an announcer or just a coach on the old Xbox, and
right, exactly. Yeah, I'm so used to the Madden clock management style of things. Both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining in the second half. 3rd and 5 coming up for Brodhead Juda, and we do anticipate that this would be the final play of the third quarter as Krupke goes under center, 1 receiver to each side of the formation, 2 backs in the backfield. Krupke gives inside and trying to bounce it out is Brown, but Brown is taken down in the backfield for a loss of yardage, and that is the final play of the third quarter. 4th down coming up for Brodhead Juda. We'll see what they draw up when we go to the fourth quarter on the other side of this timeout. Lancaster 34, Brodhead Juda 18. Back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In game 8,
Hi, this is Christine Raleigh of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
Hi, this is Doug Dolter with Dubuque Mattress. Mattresses are not something that you should have to unbox and set up yourself. Frankly, they're cumbersome. That's why at Dubuque Mattress, we deliver, set up, and get rid of the old mattress for you. And it's not just for people in Dubuque. We deliver just about anywhere. Chicago, Des Moines, Minneapolis, Kansas City, or anywhere in between. So, when it's time for you to get a new mattress, let Dubuque Mattress take care of all of it for you. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
In Game 8.
Start of the fourth quarter on our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Brodhead Juda lining up to punt it away. Lancaster not sending anyone back as they're not buying it, but a punt gets away from Arn, and Arn's punt makes a bounce inside the Lancaster 50-yard line and rolls inside the 40 and will be downed at the 36-yard line. So the Arrows will take possession with 11:47 to play in the fourth quarter, leading 34-18 on our shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest.
If you're Lancaster, you're really looking to get this one in the end zone. They've had two somewhat successful drives so far this half where they've been able to get down to the green zone, have come away with no points. They had a fumble on the 1-yard line, and then that last one there, they had a turnover on downs on a fourth down pass that was right off the hands of the wide receiver. It would have gone for a touchdown, but just haven't been able to capitalize here in the second half.
Toy Raggets out of the shotgun, two receivers each side of the formation on 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. And it's a direct quarterback snap, and a keeper for Raggets gets across the 40 and the 45 before being tackled down near the first down marker, and they do say move the sticks. A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for the Lancaster Flying Arrows on the quarterback keeper for Toy Raggets.
Raggets able to take that QB draw play and get 11 yards there for that first down. One of his few successful rush plays that he's had so far tonight.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Raggets under center. And Raggets will give inside to Hankey, and Hankey surges across the 50 into Brodhead Juda territory to the 46-yard line. So from 146 to the other 46, and it will be 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Arrows, leading 34-18 with 11:10 to play in regulation.
Hankey's an angry runner when you're looking at him. He is a bull to bring down.
Mm-hmm.
Once he gets going, he's tough.
Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. Raggets under center once again. 2nd and 4 on the near side hash mark. Quick pass far side. Caught by Dane Kaufman at the line of scrimmage. Jump tiptoes the sideline across the 40 and wrestled down just shy of the 35-yard line. And looks like his progress was stopped at the 37, but enough to move the sticks, and another Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for the Arrows, their second of this drive.
Lancaster has been pretty balanced in this game. They have quite a few more rushing attempts, I believe, right now, but their yardage is pretty equal so far, rushing compared to passing.
Two receivers to each side of the formation, and a quick hitter to the near side for Taylor Williams at the 40-yard line. Tips the sideline, now breaks away across the 30 to the 20. A nice cut at the 10, and wrestled down inside the 10-yard line. Ushered out of bounds by Braden Strelo. And it will be 1st and goal, I believe, for the Arrows at the 9-yard line. Another stop in the Biotech Green Zone for the Arrows. They were turned away on their last 2 stops in the Biotech Green Zone. We'll see if they can cash in here with 10:26 to play in the fourth quarter, and a timeout taken by Brodhead Juda.
Yeah, must not have been liking what he was seeing there, trying to get his team back on track here to hopefully stop Lancaster again, as they've done the last few times Lancaster's been down here. If you're Lancaster, you really want to stick this one in the end zone. You don't really want to settle for anything less at this point. They've been down here twice already in the second half and came away with nothing. Getting some points here is big for Lancaster.
Second timeout taken by Brodhead Juda in the second half. They have one remaining. Lancaster with 2 timeouts in their pocket as well. Our game today brought to you by Laley Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist Jordan Wilson at Laley Center Monroe. By West End Salvage of Lancaster, see Junkyard Joe Cranston and the West End Salvage team for recycling as well as construction and demolition waste too. West End Salvage of Lancaster. And the dental office located in Lancaster. The dental office is a trusted name for high-quality family dental care, proud to be the preferred provider of dentistry in Lancaster. And by Southwest Health with over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. Lancaster 34, Brodhead Juda 18, 10:26 to play in the fourth quarter. Lancaster with first and goal at the 9-yard line, near side hash mark, and a jumbo package for the Arrows as Raggets will keep it and has some room over the middle and tiptoes into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown. Toy Raggets with a rushing touchdown, his first rushing touchdown of this game, rushing touchdown number 7 for him on the season, and the Arrows stretch the lead 40-18 with 10:22 to play in the fourth quarter.
Lancaster kind of ran a quarterback power play there, and Raggets was able to come off to the left side of the line a little bit, and the left side of the line was able to get a nice hole for him to get in the end zone.
9-yard touchdown run for Toy Raggets, and now Nettie Chipua lining up for the extra point, and this extra point is through the uprights and good. Lancaster 41, Brodhead Juda 18, 10:22 to play in the fourth quarter. Back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 9.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
In Game 9.
Lancaster 41, Brodhead Juda 18, 10:22 to play in the fourth quarter. Lancaster scoring on a 9-yard touchdown run for Toy Raggets on the last offensive play for the Arrows, and the ensuing kickoff is a squibber that'll be fielded at the 36-yard line in Brodhead Juda territory. Wyatt Anderson falling on it for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 for Brodhead Juda, as feels like the last score kind of put the game away for the Arrows, but Brodhead Juda trying to assemble something together as they've had some success in this game at varying points throughout, whether it's big runs on the ground for Jaden Brown and a few nice passes for quarterback Logan Krupke, just trying to piece together something offensively and end this game on a high note.
They haven't been overly consistent throughout the game, but they've definitely shown spurts of being very successful on offense. Their second half, they've looked very impressive so far with some nice sustained drives. We'll see if they can keep that going here.
One receiver wide to the left side, 2 backs in the backfield, a wing back to the right side, and a give to the deep back. And this is number 2, Grayson Arnn, and Arnn makes a nice cut, crossing the line of scrimmage and trying to bounce it to the left side. Gets a gain of about 8 yards on the play, bringing it to the Brodhead Juda 45-yard line, and they're going to bring it back to the 44, so it'll be 2nd and about 2 to go. Nice run there for number 2, Grayson Arnn.
Yeah, Arnn was able to get a little bit of alley there to get a nice gain. That's his longest run of the night so far of 8 yards. So Lancaster done a good job of keeping him in check.
Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, CFBank.com. Member FDIC. One receiver wide to the right side, 2 backs in the backfield, a wing back to the left side as well. The wing back going in motion, that's Strelo. And another give inside to Brown, and the defensive line for Lancaster able to make the stop as number 23, Brady McCartney. The first one there to make contact, and it will be third and short again. Give him credit for about a half-yard gain on the play on the forward progress, but still third down and about a yard and a half to go.
The middle of Lancaster's defensive line here is doing a good job these last few times Brown's got the ball. Last 2 carries for Brown, he's got 0 yards apiece. So if you're Lancaster, you got to consider that a success because he's been able to rip a few good runs off in the middle.
Third down and a short 2, a long 1, depending on your viewpoint. One receiver, or no, everyone bunched up to the line of scrimmage this time, looking like a tush-push kind of situation. And a Pinks penalty flag before the snap. False start called against Brodhead Juda, and that one hurts.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not what you're looking for there. And as we said, they're a young team, and they're not out of this game yet. So you kind of get some young guys a little amped up and trying to get a good push on this third and short. Just got going a little too fast to set them back another 5 yards to make this go from a third and short to a third and medium to long-ish range try here.
Quick Chewbacca scoreboard update over on ESPN Radio, AM 5090, WPVL. DeSoto and Belmont tied at 28 with 30 seconds left in the game. And in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, Prairie du Chien 36, New Glarus 21.
Welcome to the SWC.
By the way, Prairie du Chien, Lancaster next week, right here on 97.7 Country WGLR. Krupke under center, and Cookie with a quick pass to the near side, and off the fingertips and incomplete. Looking for Braylon Strelo on the right side of the formation, and Strelo just couldn't look it in. I don't know if he took his eye off the ball or if the pass was just too hot, too fast coming at him, but a drop pass, and it's fourth down for Brodhead Juda, 4th and 6.
Yeah, nice play design there. They had the quick slant, and yeah, ball seemed like it might have came in just a little bit too hot to handle on that one. To make this a 4th and long, we'll see what Brodhead Juda does here with about 8:16 left.
4th and 6 at the 39-yard line. Ball spotted right in the middle of the field, and Brodhead Juda lining up to punt. As Arn will take the snap and gets this punt away, barely gets it away. And Lucas Weber calls fair catch, and he will field it at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Lancaster with 8:09 to play in the fourth quarter on homecoming night, leading 41-18. And Arrow's looking to close it out, finish on the right side of 500, 4-3 at the end of this game tonight, and set up that matchup with Prairie du Chien next week, which, as you said, welcome to the SWC. Prairie du Chien on the right side of things, taking down one of the top teams in the state, New Glarus. At least it appears to be that way with 5 minutes left.
Yeah, it'll be a big game next week for Lancaster going up against Prairie du Chien. If they can pull this one out to keep that momentum going towards the playoffs. And it looks like we had a hold potentially on that punt to move the ball up to about the 42 for Lancaster. We'll see what Lancaster can do here to try to bleed some of this clock.
1st and 10, 3 receivers to the right side, and the Arrows going with a quick pass to the far side is Dane Kaufman. Believe the pass was incomplete, as the whistle was blown before Kaufman turned around, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Arrows at the 42-yard line. 8:07 to play in the fourth quarter. Lancaster leading 41-18.
Taylor Williams coming back onto the field for Lancaster here, and if you're Lancaster, they have to be excited to get him back after missing the last few weeks with an injury. He's got 100 yards receiving here tonight.
Also on our Shoeback scoreboard, River Valley leading Platteville 21-7. 3 receivers left, one to the right, and a timeout taken by Lancaster. That's their second timeout of the half. They've got one remaining, as does Brodhead Juda. Lancaster up 41-18. We'll tell you that our game is brought to you by Rural Mutual agents John Reagans and Deneen Dahl with Reagans Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal business, and life insurance needs. Call them at their office in Lancaster. And by Mountain City Bank, their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. Let's do another check on the Shoebox scoreboard real quickly, as this just went final. Potosi Castroville beats Seneca Wazeeka Steuben 33-27.
Nice close game there in the Six Rivers. If you're Seneca Wazeeka Steuben, kind of a few very tight games here versus Blackhawk and Potosi the last few weeks.
Regis with a play fake. Now going to heave it over the middle and looking for Taylor Williams. Makes the catch at the 20. Breaks away, angling towards the end zone. A Northland Buildings touchdown for Taylor Williams. Taylor Williams with his second touchdown reception. And it is 47-18.
They must have heard me say they were excited for Taylor Williams to get back. Dial him up on the next play.
Taylor Williams using his basketball hops to pull that ball in, and then as soon as he got the ball, turned around at the 20 and just sprinted into the end zone. And the point and flush extra point for Nettie Chapua, end over end, through the uprights, and good. So the scoreboard should say 48-18 with 7:57 to play in the fourth quarter. Back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In game 10.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Lancaster, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Bradley Breer, agent at Bradley Breer Agency, LLC. Call me at 608-723-2990, and let's talk about your insurance needs today. Contact Bradley Breer, agent at Bradley Breer Agency, LLC at 608-723-2990 today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
American Family Insurance.
Hello, Mitch here from Kieler Family Dental. There's never been a better time to explore what's possible for you and your family at our 3 state-of-the-art facilities. From routine dental care to same-day crowns to clear aligners, veneers, and implants, we cover a wide spectrum of dental services. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
In game 10.
Lancaster pulling away from Brodhead Juda in the fourth quarter, 48-18. Arrows on top of the Cardinals as I believe this is Nettie Chapua getting the kickoff underway, and the ball will roll inside the 10.
Get on it.
And no one's going to pick it up. And the Arrows, what's the call here? It's first down, Lancaster. And first and goal at that, as no one for Brodhead Juda jumped on the ball. It was a live ball, and it looked like Lancaster was waiting for someone to jump on it. But the Arrows will have the football inside the 10 at about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Brodhead Juda kind of looked around and didn't seem like they thought they had to jump on the ball there, and Lancaster also came down and kind of hesitated at the fair bit, but they jumped on the ball and got the ball at the 6-yard line. We'll see if they can score quick here.
The backups now coming in the game for Lancaster as it's number 15, Ross Wolf, in at quarterback. He's under center, and Ross Wolf will keep it, but he's tackled in the backfield as number 44, Wyatt Anderson, able to wrap the legs up and tackle him in the backfield. A tackle for loss. And looks like a loss of about 2 on the play, brings it out to the 7-yard line.
See what the backups can do here for Lancaster, see if they can punch this one in the end zone on this very short field.
Ross Wolf again under center. And it looks like it's Wyatt Edge, number 24, the back in the backfield in a 4-point stance. And a give inside, and Edge with nowhere to go gets stonewalled to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and goal for the Arrows. Closing in on 7 minutes to play in the game. Lancaster up 48-18. And this game's very representative of the Lancaster season, it feels like, Brad, where you see flashes of the greatness, and then you see the self-inflicted penalties and things like that, and then just when you think they're out of it, they're able to put together something big, and ends up being potentially a blowout win here as you're up by 30 with 6:35 and counting.
Yeah, kind of been a roller coaster game for Lancaster. You've never really been in doubt that you're in control of the game.
And look at the second effort by Ross Wolf faked it inside, thought he was going to be tackled at the line, but able to make the defender miss, and he waltzes into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown.
Ross Wolf there able to take it off the left side of the line and find a hole and was able to get that one in.
54-18, the new score with 6:27 left. And Nettie Chipua lining up for the point and flush extra point. Snap gets away from him one. Now Raggett's rolling to his right. He's going to heave it to the back of the end zone. There's an open man, and it is caught.
Just how they drew it out.
Exactly. So the 2-point conversion is good. And I believe that was number 99, Austin Addison, who broke away and just was left alone in the corner of the end zone. And it's Lancaster 60, Brodhead Juda 18.
Toy Raggetts there was, as a holder, did a good job of getting that snap. That came back kind of rolling after him. He was able to get the fire play called, and Lancaster was able to get it in for the 2-point conversion there.
Check that, 56-18. The scoreboard fooled us once again. But still, either way, what a weird game. But
it's a bit of a roller coaster, like I was saying. Lancaster came out very strong, and then kind of hit a lull where Brodhead Juda got back into the game a little bit. Then Lancaster kind of went back in control. Kind of got to halftime of the roller coaster before halftime of quick scores by each team, and then Lancaster comes out, drives right down the field, fumbles it at the 1-yard line. Brodhead Juda takes it, scores for them. Lancaster marches all the way back down again. Doesn't score again there, and then it's just been this game's been all over the place.
Yeah. Arrows lining up for the ensuing kickoff. Nettie Chipua sets to kick it away, and I'm sure there were conversations on the Brodhead Juda side. Pick up the football on the kickoff.
I'm going to assume that'll be a key teaching point going into the next week here.
Chipua puts the toe to leather and fielding it inside the 10. I believe this is Strelo, and Strelo up the left sideline, and a hit momentarily as he was able to break away, and then he gets knocked out of bounds. And we will have a running clock the rest of the way as Lancaster now leading by 38 points. And Brodhead Juda will have the football at their own 38-yard line.
And what a whirlwind of a game. I would not have guessed we would have had a running clock about 3 minutes ago, but here we are.
Cardinals coming to the line of scrimmage as Austin Addison trying to sprint off to the sideline for the Arrows. And looks like Brodhead Juda will keep their offensive starters in the game, and now Lancaster has to spend their final timeout.
A little confusion with all the reserves going in of who was supposed to be in and lined up where, so they'll take a timeout here to make sure everybody gets lined up properly.
Shoebox scoreboard updates on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. In the first overtime, Belmont leading DeSoto 36-28. Mentioned earlier, Potosi Cassville defeated Seneca Wazeeka Steuben 33-27. And again, the really interesting score in the SWC. Prairie du Chien leading New Glarus 36-21 with 5 minutes left in the fourth. A loss for New Glarus means it's River Valley at the top of the conference, so they control their own destiny. And I believe it's River Valley and New Glarus next week.
A lot of big games coming up here near the top of the SWC. You got, if New Glarus drops this game, they drop down to 4-1. Prairie du Chien, if they hang on for the win, they'll be 4-1. River Valley, it seems like they'll be the undefeated team, but there's a lot of good teams near the top of the SWC. But as we said earlier, every single week somebody could get got in the SWC. You never know.
Coming out of the Lancaster timeout, 56-18. Arrows on top, and another carry for Grayson Arnn, and Arnn is wrestled to the ground near the 40-yard line, a gain of about 2 yards on the play. as the backups for the Lancaster defense now on the field. Trying to get these younger guys some experience and some homecoming festivities as we mentioned, the Arrows likely, I would imagine, just kind of based on how things are shaping out, both in the conference and in the potential playoff seedings, that this might be the last home game for the Arrows of the season.
Yeah, looking to end the home schedule here for the Lancaster on a very high note. We'll see what plays out the rest of the year, but yeah, this could very well be the last one we see here in Lancaster.
Krupke with a 5-step drop and a quick pass to the left side, and the ball carrier with some room along the near sideline, and that is number 2, Grayson Arn, and Arn with a nice cut, trying to shake away from another defender, hitting the joystick, and he is near the goal line. It looks like he's going to be stopped, but there is a Pinks penalty flag, and it is a hold against Brodhead Juda. Man, oh man. Another highlight reel play negated by a Pinks penalty.
And we're seeing on both sides of the field tonight, on both teams, are getting some nice big plays, but just inopportune penalties at the wrong time. And this one's unfortunately coming back as Lancaster sends in a few new players, as it took about 9 guys to get Arn down inside the 5-yard line there.
That's one of those runs that you see in Madden and, like, you just want to throw the controller because you just can't take them down. It's like someone's just a pro moving the joystick around.
That was a nice run there and definitely some nice moves. And, yeah, Lancaster was able to stop him just short. But, yeah, the penalty by Brodhead Juda just brings him back. And, again, something you don't really like to see is you're hoping that both teams can try to get some momentum here going into the next weeks. We'll see what Brodhead Juda can follow up on, and who knows, maybe they'll rip off another big one. This has been a crazy game. So
3:15 and counting in the fourth quarter, 56-18, Lancaster on top, and after the Pinks penalty, it's 2nd and about 15, and another carry this time, as that is Jaden Brown, and Brown gets it to the 50-yard line. Called a gain of 12 on the play. And they will move the football back to the Brodhead Juda 49, but still enough for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for the Cardinals. And that last run by Grayson Arn, that's really the only explosive run that he's had all night long.
Yeah, that would have been about his longest play by far. And, Lancaster done a great job keeping him in check, and it seems like that was a kind of a vocal point for Lancaster's shutdown.
Krupke under center once again for Brodhead Juda, and someone jumped early, and it looks like another false start on Brodhead Juda.
Penalties starting to add up here for Brodhead Juda.
It'll be 1st and 15 at the 44-yard line. And after the game, we'll have the Reeves Wealth Management Edward Jones post-game show. We'll pick out our Hermson's Ace Hardware MVP, the Les Mack drive of the game, the Tricor turning points, and the West End Salvage scrapper of the game. A lot of stuff to sort out in our post-game show, and I'm sure we'll be joined by Coach Rolland and a few players as well for their post-game thoughts on a very successful homecoming night. 56-18, 1:45 left. And Krupke under center. And they give on an end around. I believe this is Arn again. And Arn, looking for some room on the near sideline, escapes one defender and tiptoes the sideline to the 40-yard line. Still on his feet at the 30. Somehow a high wire act along the near sideline, and a nice effort run there by Grayson Arn. First down, Brodhead Juda at the Lancaster 29-yard line. Nice run.
Gain of 28 there for Arn. Yep, good to see him getting some open space, albeit versus the Lancaster backups here, but I'm sure confidence building wise for him heading into the next week, that's a good one to rip off there.
Brodhead Juda comes to the line of scrimmage with 1 minute left to play. They might be able to sneak in one more play after this one, as Krupke will give on an end around to Arn once again. Arn stumbling just a moment, now cuts it upfield, spins away from one defender, but spins into 3 more, and a gang tackle made at the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 of about 40 seconds left. And the Cardinals will likely get one more play in, as Arn looks like he was slow getting up.
Arn pretty slow to get up there. I would assume that Brodhead Juda will be happy to take this one to the end of the game here, but they might want to run one more play just to see what happens.
Yeah, Krupke coming back from the Brodhead Juda sideline. They will try and run one more play. There's 10 seconds left. And Krupke ducks under center. One receiver wide to the left side, 2 backs in the backfield, and Krupke will give it to Jaden Brown. And Brown still on his feet, but gets it to the 10-yard line, but that will do it. Your final score on homecoming night in Lancaster. The Flying Arrows 56, the Brodhead Juda Cardinals 18. The Arrows improved to 4-3 on the campaign. And they will take on Prairie du Chien next week. We'll have that game for you right here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And Brodhead Juda falls to 0-7 on the season. They will host Richland Center 1 week from tonight. Once again, 56-18. Lancaster defeats Brodhead Juda. The Results Management at Edward Jones postgame show coming your way next on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Postgame 4 minutes.
Don't you just hate it when your kiddos get tired and want to quit trick-or-treating before you've hit all the best houses? You know, the ones that hand out full-size candy bars. This Halloween, fuel your little goblins with hearty sandwiches made on Country Hearth Kids' Choice bread before heading out. Made the old-fashioned way with whole grains and natural sweeteners, Country Hearth breads are a treat the whole family will love. And as any monster will tell you, the best nights start with a great bite. Country Hearth, baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
Buying a mattress can seem overwhelming. How soft should you go, or how firm? How much support do you need? All great questions and all tough to figure out without the right guidance. Hi, I'm Jeremy Culbertson, and I've been building and selling mattresses with Dubuque Mattress for over 10 years, and with our guidance, we take all the stress out of mattress shopping. We guarantee you will love your Dubuque mattress, or we'll change it for you until you do.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
From top to bottom, inside and out, Midwest Roofing and Construction has you covered. Need a new roof or siding? Call the pros. Looking for energy-efficient spray foam insulation? Midwest Roofing and Construction does that too. See them for new construction, pole sheds, and decks. One call does it all. For quality local service and a free estimate, call Midwest Roofing and Construction at 1-800-551-8251. That's 1-800-551-8251. Or visit MidwestRoofingPros.com.
I'm here with Kyle Wiskus from Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque. Kyle, it seems like hybrids are dominating the roads, but there aren't many charging locations in Dubuque.
Agreed. Luckily, Toyota hybrids don't require plug-in charging. The Toyota hybrid system is built to charge while the vehicle is being driven, so there's no need for plug-in charging.
What about the battery life? Should people be worried about its longevity?
Not at all. Toyota has sold over 5 million hybrids in the last 25 years. Plus, their battery warranty covers you for 10 years or 150,000 miles.
How does regular maintenance on a hybrid compare to a gas model?
Toyota hybrid vehicles require the same maintenance as gas-powered models, and oftentimes even less. For example, the hybrid model's regenerative braking charges the battery even while slowing down the vehicle, increasing the life of the vehicle's brake pads.
Wow, it seems like there are a lot of benefits in choosing a hybrid Toyota. Visit Anderson Weber in Dubuque to learn more and take a test drive today.
From small-town businesses to large multi-state operations, Tricor Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance have industry expertise that can cover all types of businesses.
Having an insurance agency that understands our business is a real benefit. They know our people. It's something Tricor does really well.
Tricor's in-depth knowledge of insurance, regulation, compliance, and safety consulting is here to help your business succeed. Working with leading insurance companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They'll be there when you need them most. Visit TricorInsurance.com to learn more about Tricor Insurance Cycle of Care.
Save the date for the 2025 Holiday Auction by WGLR for Saturday, December 6th at Tim Slack Auction and Realty in Lancaster. If you, your family, or your business would like to donate an item, please contact Denise Deaton-Tolsman at 608-642-0523. The Holiday Auction supports the Grant County Food Pantries along with families and children with financial needs. Thank you to annual sponsors Breckler Lendowski Insurance Group, Tim Slack Auction and Realty, and TDS Telecom.
Hi, I'm Brady Vondra, owner of Vondra Ag Service here in Platteville and Livingston. We're your local, independent, family-owned retail ag business. With harvest just around the corner, it's a great time to think about dry fertilizer application. We know the land because we farm it too. If you're looking for a true partner to help your operations succeed, give us a call. We'd love to work alongside you. Vondra Ag Service, local roots, family values, and your success is our priority. Let's grow together. Call me at 608-778-8795.
Your high school postgame show is brought to you by Elena and Ben Reeves at Edward Jones, a financial service firm serving individuals and business owners.
Is your money working as hard as it should be? This is Elena Reeves with Edward Jones. If you want to provide for your children's education, reduce your tax bill, or prepare for a comfortable retirement, we need to talk. Today, more than ever, your financial security deserves the attention of full-time financial advisors. Take advantage of our years of experience. Contact financial advisors Elena or Ben Reeves at 608-348-2441 or stop by our office on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville next to Sups Nutrition. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Homecoming night, a fun one here in Lancaster. The Flying Arrows get the win over Brodhead Juda 56-18 on our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. On 97.7 Country, WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. This is our Rees Wealth Management and Edward Jones post-game show. And with a final score of 56-18, let's just run down real quickly. A 41-yard touchdown pass from Toy Raggets to Dane Kaufman made it 7-0, and then Taylor Williams, a 46-yard touchdown pass from Toy Raggets made it 14-0. That was the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, a lot of scoring between both teams. Jaden Brown had a 44-yard touchdown run for Brodhead Juda. Nolan Hankey, a 1-yard touchdown run, followed by a 15-yard touchdown run for Hankey. And then Logan Krupke to Nolan Bump for the first touchdown pass of the season for Brodhead Juda. And then Nolan Hankey with another rushing touchdown. 3 rushing touchdowns in the second quarter for Nolan Hankey. Our halftime score was 34-12. Picking it up in the third quarter, Jaden Brown had another rushing touchdown, this one from 31 yards out. 34-18 was the score at the end of the third quarter. And then in the fourth, Toy Raggets found the end zone. Taylor Williams with another touchdown reception for Toy Raggets. And Ross Wolf, the backup quarterback, scoring from 6 yards out. Our final score, 56-18. A really weird football game here tonight, to say the least. A lot of back and forth, a lot of momentum swings. And for us to get to a running clock, it just a very bizarre game, just to say the least. There's no other real way to describe it.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster out there. And, yeah, it was weird back and forth. Brodhead Juda was able to stay in the game for a little while, but if you looked at the scoreboard at the end of the game, or if you look at some of these stats, you wouldn't think they were in it hardly at all. But it was a really good game there until about halfway through the third quarter. It really kind of started to get out of hand. But yeah, it was a very interesting game to see here.
And it looks like we have a couple of Flying Arrow players making their way to the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth, and we'll get to them in just a moment. We'll also get the stats, and we'll hand out our post-game awards. The Les Mack Drive of the Game, the Hertz's Ace Hardware MVP, Tricor Turning Point, and the West End Salvage Scrapper of the Game. And let's do a quick check on the Shoebox scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Richland Center defeats Dodgeville 50-28. River Valley over Platteville 28-26, and we are now officially joined by some victorious Lancaster Flying Arrows. Joining us in the booth, we have number 70, Preston Clemens, joining us. And Preston, congratulations on the win. Homecoming night, a very festive night, a very fun environment, and last home game of the regular season for the Arrows here tonight, and coming away with a nice blowout win after some very close games over the course of the season. Take us through the game tonight and what things went well for you guys.
Well, we've had a pretty challenging season as such a young team, but we've been progressing through the year, and tonight was really a night to show everything off. And we were all hyped up before the game, and I think it showed on the field.
Yep, and definitely, with it being homecoming week, there's always, the distractions and all the festivities and stuff like that. And, we were just talking with Brad about this. This was just kind of a weird game, all around. A lot of momentum swings. You feel like you guys have things in control. All of a sudden, they're able to rip off a couple big, touchdown runs. They get a passing touchdown towards the end of the first half. And then, just take us through what things were said at halftime and what things you guys kind of had to do to course correct and get things going back for you guys.
Well, we walked through what we needed to do, and we came out and took her down to the 1 yard line and had some mishaps, but we got right back on it and scored a bunch more. So.
Didn't execute our best tonight, but we played pretty well.
Yep, excellent. Also in the booth with us is Brady Lowinger. And Brady, I'll ask you this because Coach Rolland was talking with us, in pregame. You're 10 points away from being an undefeated team, but you're also 4 points away from being 1-5 on the campaign. So the margin of error kind of seems razor thin, and you guys are walking that tightrope. Yeah. It seemed like, but tonight obviously, a blowout score, get a running clock towards the end of the game. Talk about the things that you guys have been working on in practice and things like that, because yes, it seems like it's penalties and little things that can make a difference, but it's also just trying to control the things that you guys can control.
Yeah. It was all just drilling mental mistakes, no more penalties, no more holding, no more dumb stuff, no more personal fouls, and I think we really cleaned that up tonight, besides a few things.
Right.
Yeah, we just executed better than them.
Yep, and it definitely reflected on the scoreboard. And, going ahead, the next 2 weeks, Prairie du Chien coming up next week, they were leading New Glarus towards the end of the fourth quarter, I think 36-21. And then you'll have to go to New Glarus to end the season. So a big rivalry game coming up with Prairie du Chien. We'll have that game right here on WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Don't have to get you guys hyped up for the big rivalry game, anything there. But and I remember the last time you guys went to Prairie du Chien, that came down to the wire, and for Prairie du Chien, they don't have that guy Blake Thierry on their side to make things go. So what are the things you guys are going to be looking to clean up and heading into that matchup with Prairie du Chien next week?
Just holding, mental errors. Feel like we got a bunch of guys who can break tackles, so just flowing to the ball better, blocking for them until the whistle. Because, you hit one guy and they're gone. They're just two very special players. So
we've had too many ups and downs, and we're just working on trying to be more and more consistent. I feel like once we have that down, there's no stopping us. So.
All right, excellent. Well, this is a great game to really kind of get things officially back on track. And, with two big games coming up to close out the regular season, I'll ask both of you, the final question. What's going to be the attitude for you guys heading down the home stretch? Is it kind of us against the world? We got to do what we got to do. We'll take care of business and focus on us?
Yep, we were backed into a corner going off a couple losses first weeks of conference, but we're fighting our way out, and we're not stopping. So
mentality is to win out. No room for error.
All right, awesome. Should be a fun close to the season. Thanks a lot for joining us. Congrats on the win. Go enjoy the homecoming victory, and we'll see you guys next week in Prairie.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. That's Preston Clemens and Brady Lowinger joining us on our Everett Jones Results Management postgame show on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. 56-18. Lancaster getting the win over Brodhead, Juda. As we mentioned, one of the weirdest football games that we have seen all season long. But I really liked what both what Preston and Brady said to us here in postgame. They were backed into a corner, they said, and they really responded. There's still some mistakes and things that they got to clean up. As again, Lancaster's still a young football team in their own right, but it kind of feels like now with a win like this and the things that they can focus on and correct, a lot of momentum for them heading into a big matchup with Prairie du Chien next week.
Yeah, record-wise coming into this, I don't think Lancaster's where they wanted to be, and yeah, they were certainly backed into a corner, especially with playoffs coming around the corner. Wanted to make sure they can get into the playoffs, and yeah, this seems like a very good game to get everything corrected and on the right track and back to playing Lancaster football where they can beat anybody at any given time, and it'll be interesting to see them coming down the stretch. And yeah, they were very impressive tonight and very dominant.
All right, what do the individual stats tell us, and we'll run down some of our post-game awards here.
Yeah, like I said, some of the stats would make you not think that this game was close at all throughout the game, but there's some interesting things here. So we had Toy Raggets with 9 carries for 38 yards. Hankey had 15 carries for 202 yards and those 3 touchdowns. I got to call out Ross Wolf there at the end. He had 2 carries for 5 yards and a touchdown. You had Toy Raggets was 12-19 passing for 274 yards, 4 touchdowns, and that 1 pick. You had Taylor Williams, 5 catches, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. Aiden Wilson, 2 catches for 68 yards. Both went for touchdowns. Dane Kaufman, 3 catches for 25 yards. Krubel, 2 catches for 30 yards. And Hankey had 1 catch for 24 yards. So a very balanced attack by Lancaster throughout. I know Coach Rollins said before in the postgame or the pregame that he was worried about 8-man boxes. They did not really allow that to be an option as they were able to pass and run the ball at their will.
And speaking of Coach Rollins, he's joining us now on our Results Management Edward Jones post-game show. Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win. And Brad and I were talking about this during our post-game show. This is one of the weirdest football games that we have seen with all the different momentum swings and things like that. And, a lot of momentum swings for a game that had a running clock at the end of the ball game. But as you were on the sideline and saw how the game played out, what things stood out to you the most in the win tonight?
Just consistency. We got to keep working on getting more consistent. We make little penalties that kill drives or we fumble, anything like that. We just got to clean up. Penalties were a little better tonight. Still some that were pretty crucial on some big plays. I know we had a touchdown called back, and then we end up not scoring on that drive. So just consistency overall. We have opportunities to kind of get it running clock or put them away sooner, and we got to kind of pounce on that, and we just don't do a great job right now.
Yep, and what Brady and Preston was telling us in our post-game chat was that, kind of the mentality is that you guys were backed up against the wall and that, they had to respond and get things put together. What was your message to the team throughout the week with it being homecoming and all the distractions and stuff like that? There is also that outside chance that this might be the last home game for the Arrows for the season. So what was the message heading into this matchup with Brodhead Juda?
I mean, this is a big week. Homecoming week is focus was the message and being disciplined and focused. And I think we did a pretty nice job this week. There's a lot of distractions this week, and we came out ready to play. We score on that first drive, so we're just focused. We focused on being focused and disciplined, and that's kind of this with us being so young, inexperienced, and all that stuff. That's kind of been our motto for the whole year. And then just to kind of we're fighting for a home game. We're trying to win out to get another home game in the playoffs for our kids. I know a lot of people have kind of said that this is our last home game, so we kind of are trying to prove people wrong that we can get another one hopefully.
Yep, and obviously a blowout win, obviously improves the confidence of the team heading into a big matchup with Prairie du Chien and then close out the season with New Glarus. And the last update that we had on that New Glarus game, Prairie du Chien was leading New Glarus 36-21 in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left. We'll see what the final score is of that game, but again, the SWC has just been a weird conference to try and figure out. And obviously, with Lancaster kind of being, kind of 50-50 in these, close call games, what's going to be the message for your team heading into that big rivalry matchup with Prairie du Chien next week?
Same thing, just focus on getting better, focus on us. I mean, a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of weeks where it's very similar opponents. Everybody's pretty equal. I know we've had, 3 very close losses. We've had 2 very close wins. So we just got to keep focusing on us, getting better, getting more consistent. Not killing ourselves on drives, because really the last couple games, the drives that we don't score on are penalty drives or there's turnovers. So we've been moving the ball really well, and then just being more consistent on defense. We slip up and our mistakes on defense end up in huge plays right now. So we got to just be more sound up front on the defensive line and the kind of linebacker depth. So
yeah, it really feels like as far as the penalties and the mistakes, they all kind of compound one on top of another. It's not really just one isolated thing or anything like that. It's just the little things that just kind of keep piling on, and we have touchdowns negated when you're at the goal line, and obviously some learning opportunities for the team heading into next week's game.
Yeah, it's great teaching tape, right? That's what we'll watch Monday on just how big these little plays are. A flinch, the false start that we score on, a holding call that we score on, and honestly on the backside of plays that didn't really matter. So it's just how disciplined can you be, and every play matters. Again, it's inexperience that we're trying to play out of. We're trying to get more experience as we go. It's got to stop being our excuse for that stuff, but we just got to stop making the same mistakes in each game, and mainly it's in that third quarter that's been kind of killing us. So just keep focusing on us and try to get better.
All right, awesome. Looking forward to seeing the game next week in Prairie du Chien. We'll see you for that one next week right here on WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach. Enjoy the homecoming festivities, and we'll see you guys next week.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Jordan Rollin, the head coach of Lancaster Flying Arrows, is kind enough to join us for his post-game thoughts here on WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Once again, the final score 56-18, Lancaster over Brodhead Juda. And we will be joined now by head coach Tim Surjak of Brodhead Juda. Coach, thanks for making time to chat with us. And Brad and I were talking about this kind of throughout the game for Brodhead Juda. Some flashes of some positive things here tonight against a quality opponent in the Lancaster Flying Arrows. When you reflect on what you saw tonight, what stood out to you the most?
Well, just kind of those things, yeah. We saw some positive things, and then, obviously there was definitely times where, we didn't help ourselves at all. Just little things that, can't happen, that, shouldn't happen in the game of football, and unfortunately we were making those mistakes here tonight.
Yep, and it was really impressive. The passing game here tonight really started to come alive. Your team getting their first touchdown pass of the season off that big interception in the second quarter. Take us through what things went right in the passing game tonight, because it really felt like some of those quick hitting passes really seemed to work well. It just seemed like you guys just couldn't piece all those together to have sustained drives.
Yeah, I think tonight the biggest thing was getting Logan just comfortable. Comfortable and confident and making some easy throws and getting that confidence and that little momentum and, and then just him going out and making plays, making the throws that were asked of him, not doing too much and just going out and making, those big throws. And that touchdown was big for us.
Yep, and Jaden Brown had an outstanding game rushing the football, had some big runs, obviously 2 rushing touchdowns, and just really kind of up-the-gut plays that executed well. What did you see Lancaster doing defensively that led to those big explosive runs for Jaden?
Well, credit to Jaden. He's a senior, and you probably saw him on defense too. He just plays his heart out each and every week. And, yeah, we were able to run trap a little bit and get Jaden going right up field. And credit to him, busting off a couple there and then finishing them with hard runs. And, yeah, credit to him. He's a good quality senior.
Yep, and looking ahead, 2 more games to close out the season. I believe you got Richland Center next week. Take us through what you know about the Hornets and what things are you going to be looking to emphasize with your team heading into that matchup next week.
Well, the biggest thing is we have to, as a team kind of reflect on this and figure out, who wants to fix these things and who wants to be a part of this thing and, do it the right way. Richland Center's coming up, but the biggest thing is, kind of that with our team right now. And then when it comes to Richland Center, it's going to be business as always, and, we're going to get prepared to play a football game. But, yeah, just getting this team ready and finding out who wants to be a part of these next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, as we said, some bright spots here tonight. Granted, the final score doesn't necessarily reflect it, but some positive things it looks like for this young football team coming up, and looking forward to seeing what the future holds for this Brodhead Juda football program. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach. We appreciate the time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, fellas.
Yep, thank you. Yep, that's Tim Surjak, the head coach of Brodhead Juda, kind enough to join us on our post-game show as well. So we've gotten all perspectives on this game here tonight, Brad, and let's hand out the post-game awards. We were talking about the Herms's Ace Hardware MVP of the game, Herms's Ace Hardware Center in Bloomington, and Herms's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main in Platteville. Herms's will be the MVP for your next project in your home. Go to Herms's Ace Hardware in Bloomington. And Platteville, I think the easiest go-to is going to be Nolan Hankey with the outstanding touchdowns and the yards gained that he had tonight, all 3 rushing touchdowns coming in that second quarter that really helped Lancaster stretch the lead.
Yeah, he was really big there in the second quarter with, like you said, those 3 touchdowns, and I think 123 yards just in that quarter alone to finish the night with 202 in those 3 touchdowns. And, yeah, I definitely think he was a big part of the Lancaster offense and is surefire MVP for the night.
All right, so Nolan Hankey is our Herms's Ace Hardware MVP of the game. Let's talk about the Les Mack drive of the game presented by Les Mack Automotive in Lancaster. Whether it's Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford, you can count on over 50 years of trusted hometown service because at Les Mack you always get more from less. If we're going in the spirit of longest drives, that belongs to Brodhead Juda with the 9-yard touchdown, or the 9-play touchdown drive. There were a pair of them resulting in Jaden Brown touchdown runs. And if you look for Lancaster, their longest drive, I believe, was 8 plays and a Nolan Hankey 1-yard touchdown run. There's a lot of different ones that we could go with that have resulted in scores, but any drives that particularly stand out to you the most, Brad?
Yeah, I think that one that ended with the Hankey touchdown kind of responded to Brodhead Juda scored a touchdown on that previous possession, and then Lancaster was able to come right back and have their first sustained drive. The first few drives for them were kind of quick hitters and easy scoring, but Lancaster went on a nice long drive there, and kind of was a turning point of that game as then the game started to kind of lean more in their favor.
So we'll call that the drive of the game and our Tricor Turning Point tonight, brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. Now it's time to name the West End Salvage Scrapper of the game as the player whose hustle and scrappiness stood out and tried to lay the opponent to waste. West End Salvage of Lancaster. There's a number of different players that we could go with as far as Scrapper of the game. I mean, you could pair it with Nolan Hankey with the production that he had on the ground, but I think we want to go along the defensive side. I think you look at Preston Clemens, having a solid game here tonight. The defensive secondary really holding kind of the passing game in check. For the most part. Other players that are maybe unsung that stood out to you tonight, Brad.
It's hard for me to pinpoint the defensive players as
right.
I'm trying to keep track of the offensive stats better. But yeah, I think you could go. The defensive line for Lancaster did a really good job tonight, minus a few plays where Brown was able to get some big hitters for Brodhead Juda. But for the most part, Lancaster's defensive line was able to keep Brodhead Juda in check and did a nice job of not allowing them too many big plays. They got a few of them, but for the most part, they were able to hold their running game in check. And yeah.
Yeah, but another one I'll put in, and maybe this is the one that we will officially go with. Taylor Williams tonight, 2 receiving touchdowns. Again, coming off an injury, getting back into the mix on homecoming night, and really showing his athleticism here tonight as well. He was definitely a key point in production here tonight for the Arrows in the receiving game.
Yeah, I think Lancaster was definitely happy to get Taylor Williams back. It seems like he might unlock something, a different kind of aspect to this Lancaster offense to kind of get them going. I mean, he had 158 yards on those two touchdowns tonight. So I mean, he's a big player, and hopefully he can stay healthy for the rest of the season. And it'll be interesting to see what happens for there. And yeah, if we want to go offensive side, I could definitely see Taylor Williams being the case because coming off injury and putting up 158 yards, that's a big part of the offense right there.
Yeah, we'll pair Taylor Williams and the Lancaster defensive line. Yeah, we'll call that our scrappers, co-scrappers of the game, brought to you by West End Salvage of Lancaster. We'll take our final timeout, and we'll close up shop. We'll do a quick check on the Shoebox scoreboard and preview what we have coming up in tomorrow's sports coverage across our Queen Bee Radio family of stations as our Results Management and Edward Jones postgame show wraps up after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Postgame 1 minute.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Postgame 1 minute.
Wrapping up the Results Management and Edward Jones postgame show on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The final score here at Lancaster High School on homecoming night, 56-18. The Arrows defeat Brodhead Juda. Let's do a final check on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. And this final score raising some eyebrows. Iowa Grant over River Ridge, 34-30.
Yeah, that's a shocking result there. Not really knowing how the game went out, but we were able to see Iowa Grant once, and we know their passing attack can be lethal if they get that rolling. So I'm kind of curious to see how River Ridge was able to defend that, if that's what Iowa Grant did, or if Iowa Grant had some new wrinkle in their offense that River Ridge wasn't prepared for. But yeah, that's kind of a shocking result to see tonight.
Yep. So a great homecoming night for Iowa Grant tonight as they down the River Ridge Timberwolves. Other scoring updates: Richland Center defeated Dodgeville 50-28. River Valley over Platteville 28-26. I feel like we have a lot of 28-26 final scores here this season. My goodness. Prairie du Chien officially took care of New Glarus 36-28, the final in that one. So now it's River Valley alone in first place in the SWC, controlling their destiny. And final in overtime, Belmont over DeSoto, 36-28. And Belleville over Benton Scales Mountain Schallsburg, 27-6. We had Potosi Cassville over Seneca Wazeeka Steuben, 33-27, in a very fun back-and-forth matchup there. Seneca Wazeeka Steuben losing by 7 to both Potosi Cassville and Blackhawk Warren and the Blue Golds. Kind of a fun story in the Six Rivers this year.
Yeah, if you would have told me that coming into the season, not knowing a whole lot about Seneca Wazeeka Steuben, I would have told you you're probably a liar, but they're proving a lot of teams wrong here, and they're proving that they deserve to be near the top of the Six Rivers, which is year in and year out one of the toughest conferences in the state.
Yeah, at different points of the season, 4 different teams have been ranked in the Bound Wisconsin coaches poll. So, I mean, that tells you how deep this conference is. And now, Iowa Grant inserting themselves in, throwing a wrench in the Six Rivers title picture, and some regrouping for the River Ridge Timberwolves coming up here.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of down to Blackhawk and Potosi now, and their big matchup will be the last week of the season, as long as they both can fend off any upsets here in the next week. But that seems like that'll be the big game. And, yeah, then third place seems like it'll go to Seneca Wazeeka Steuben. I think they play River Ridge still.
Next week, yep.
Yep, so that'll be a big game for both of those
Yeah.
teams, especially for playoff implications. And that little quadrant in D7, that's going to be another monster to get out of like it is every single year.
And how they're seeded is always going to be the question,
Yep.
because what do you put weight on as far as the criteria for that? So Steve Prestegard will have the full scoring updates of tonight's games during our News and Sports Report tomorrow morning on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and WGLR.com. Oh, by the way, we have more football coming up tomorrow as the Wisconsin Badgers taking on Michigan in the Big House at 11 o'clock right here on 97.7 Country WGLR. We also have more high school football. Highland hosting North Crawford in the 150th anniversary of Highland Community School. Should be a fun, festive environment in Highland at Tyler Field. I'll be on the call with Steve Prestegard for that game. Again, on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our Rally Cheese pregame set for 1:30. Kickoff at 2 o'clock, and some awesome steak sandwiches somewhere here and there.
I'm assuming that you're going to have a steak sandwich. I heard they're pretty good there. Haven't had one myself, but heard they're some of the best in the state, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I'm sure that crowd will be nice and big for the 150th, and it'll be an event for sure.
And a heck of a football game likely, too, with North Crawford being one of the top-ranked teams in the state as well. And then, oh, by the way, yeah, the Milwaukee Brewers in action, NLDS, Chicago Cubs. Nothing really big to say outside of that. But, again, the Brewers postseason run will be on ESPN Radio, AM 1590, WPVL. We know for sure next week we will be in Prairie du Chien following the Arrows against the Blackhawks. We'll have that game right here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. I'll be on the call with Wally Troughton for that game next week, and we will sort out our coverage as some of these final scores are kind of forcing us to reshuffle the deck, I think, as far as what games we are going to carry on the air, because it's not just conference title pictures, it's now playoff positioning for a number of these teams in Southwest Wisconsin, and what has been one of the weirdest years in high school football that I can certainly remember.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of surprise teams and a lot of weeks where you can never know what happens. And, yeah, hearing some of the results tonight, a lot more games that maybe were not so important next week have elevated to be like they're very important games. So it'll be interesting to see where you guys all head next week to cover, and looking forward to the last few weeks here of high school football before we hit the playoffs, and then it'll be a totally new environment, new season, and anything can happen then.
We have 2 weeks left of the season, regular season at least. It certainly doesn't feel like it with the weather that we've had. It feels like we're still in August, temperature-wise and time-wise, but my goodness, what a wild season it has been, and it will continue next week. You can check out our full Queen Bee Radio sports schedule at am1590wpvl.com. RJ Osterhaus will kind of work through our coverage plans, and we'll have those out sometime on Sunday, and we'll bring those to you on our social media channels as well. So, Brad, thanks a lot again for joining me on the broadcast tonight, 3 weeks in a row, and an outstanding performance by you again here tonight. And once again, some final thoughts here for the Arrows. Again, a blowout win on homecoming night against Brodhead Juda, a confidence-building type of win, but still a lot of things that Coach Rowland and his team want to work on and get squared away with some two big matchups with Prairie du Chien, a rivalry game next week that's a coin flip at best, and then a big game against New Glarus where, granted New Glarus just fell, but if they beat River Valley next week, they end up having something to play for the conference title. And when you have to play your best football at the tail end of the season, that usually brings out your best. And with a team that's getting healthy, things are pointing in the right direction for the Arrows coming out of the win here tonight.
Yeah, Lancaster, again, looked very impressive tonight. Their defense and offense was able to control the game for the most part. Brodhead Juda did get some big plays that kind of helped the scoreboard look a little bit better than maybe it potentially could have been. But Brodhead Juda was a scrapper of a team tonight, and they played their hearts out, and that was good to see. And, yeah, if you're Lancaster, a lot of good things happen tonight, but a lot of teachable moments still. They are young. They're still making some minor mental mistakes and physical mistakes at times that took some points off the board for them that they don't really want, that they can't have happen, especially in these next 2 weeks with these big games coming up. And, yeah, you want to clean those up, and it's good teaching moments going forward, and it'd be nice to see what they do here the last few weeks and hopefully get into the playoffs. And like I said, once you get to the playoffs, it's a whole new season and anything can happen. It's a coin flip at best. And yeah, thanks for having me for the third week in a row. It was fun, and maybe we'll do it again sometime before the season ends.
Yep, definitely. Hopefully we can, and that'll wrap things up for us from Lancaster here tonight. Thanks to both head coaches Jordan Rolland and Coach Sir Jack for the pregame and postgame interviews here tonight. And then thanks again to Brett Rollins and the entire staff here at Lancaster High School for being gracious hosts for us. As always, this is the last regular season home game here at Lancaster. We'll see if they can host at least one playoff game coming up in the postseason, but we'll see based on the outcome of the final 2 games of the season if we'll be back here for at least one more game. Thanks to all of our sponsors who help us bring high school sports to you, and thank you for listening and watching along. This has been Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country, WGLR FM Lancaster, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by Laley Center Monroe and H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. Once again, your final score, the Lancaster Flying Arrows defeat the Brodhead Juda Cardinals 58-16. Lancaster improves to 4-3, and they will take on Prairie du Chien next week. Brodhead Juda falls to 0-7. They will host Richland Center 1 week from tonight. From the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth for Brad Adams, I'm Tyler Dutanis. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night from Lancaster, and we'll see you tomorrow for Highland and North Crawford on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So long from Lancaster High School.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.
The Tri-State's best variety of country. 97.7 Country, WGLR-FM. Lancaster. Serving Platteville, Dubuque, Galena, and beyond. On WGLR.com. A Queen Bee radio station.